Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special night here as we are with the Dirty Old Bastards as they bring you the Natural Carbon Company 410 Nationals. My name is K.R. Stolfus. I'm from the Turn 3 Racing Network, and here in the booth with me as well is none other than the glorious Brett Wheeler, who is from the Ultimate Dirt TV. Brett, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, KR. How are you, buddy? I'm looking forward to tonight. A big night of racing. D main, C main, B main, and of course, I'm looking forward to that 50-lap main event championship night to crown a 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals winner.
Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a main here tonight. But before we can get to the A main, we got to go through the D and the C. And as this server gets closer to switching over to the D main, you can really kind of tell these drivers are getting jittery and feeling the pressure.
Yeah, we're feeling nerves like coming into tonight. You know, we've got a D main that was meant to have about 16, 17, 18 cars. We're actually shrunk that down now with how it's all going to work. So we're looking at probably a 7 or 8 car D main. All those drivers should transfer to the back of the C main, and how it's all going to work, KR, and for everybody watching at home as well. So heat race number 1 is going to act as the D main, and then after that D main, so it'll be 12 laps in distance. It'll show 13. We'll do an extra lap just to get the lineup set. Then we'll go green off turn 4. And then once that's done, all the drivers, or the top 4 will go through to the back of the C. 5th and 6th were generally going to be alternates, but more than likely going to have all of those drivers from the D main line up towards the back of the A main. Then there'll be a warm-up session after the D main. Sorry. Then we'll have the C main, which will be run. It'll be 15 laps in distance. Again, top 4 will transfer to the back of the B, with the 5th and 6th place cars being the alternates as well. And then, of course, once the D and C main have been running this server, then we'll take a break. We'll switch servers. We'll come back for the B main and then the A main server as well.
Yeah, and we're going to be taking the top 4 out of the B main for positions 17 through 20.
Correct. Yes.
I can do math. Thank you very much.
Yes, you can. You can look, and that's a beauty. That's a beauty to do math, because we locked in. So over the first 2 nights, we locked the top 16 in off the point system from the prelim night. 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th all came from last night's hard knocks. And as you said, 17th through to 20th, those drives will come from tonight's B main.
All right, so there you have it. That's a heck of a rundown. And, well, now we're just waiting to get this thing started and getting some wonderful shots of the Knoxville scenery here. And, you know, this track is literally that close to the street.
Well, I mean, I'd love to get over there one day and really get to experience the Nationals, whether it's the 360s and 410s or whether it's just the 410s. I'd love to get over there to do it all. But, man, I tell you, I mean, just looking around this racetrack and what iRacing have created, you know, with obviously the laser scan tracks, and you know how much detail they actually put into what they put out there, on the service. You know, it's wonderful to see, and we really get a glimpse at as to why this is really the sprint car capital of the world.
That's for sure. And you know, I've made it up to Knoxville once for a weekly show, and it's let's just say that if a car goes out in turn 1, they do close the street down for the moment.
That's over near Dingus, isn't
it? That's why the wall keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, everybody wants to take a quick trip to Dingus, but it's probably best to go to Dingus at the end of the night rather than at the start of the night.
Yeah. They are doing what they can to keep them in. So it looks like Chris Roberts in the middle of a drivers meeting, letting everyone know what he expects of them and kind of what this event rundown is going to look like. And now it looks like our practice session is coming to an end.
That it is, which means that the elimination races will start. Of course, D main, unfortunately, for those playing at home, we've already been told that all drivers from the D main will transfer to the back of the C main. So we're just going to continue to run this D main, but it's going to be just for starting positions only.
Yeah, so good news for everyone. They will be in it. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at our starting lineup for this D main. On the inside, that is Derek Patetti. To the outside will be Austin Miller. Row number 2 will be Tyler Lucy and Dean Reynolds on the outside. Row 3, going to be Christopher Lynn and Jonathan Lowe. Oh, J-Lo. Gary Offit and Casey Miller make up row number 4. Row 5 will be Michael Sheridan and Nicholas McGeethy. Row number 6, Tyler Isley and Christopher Morat, who set quick time back on the Classic and then got shuffled back pretty quick. Justin Zaponsky and Matthew Croak for row number 7. Row 8, Brian Moore Sr. and Donald Schmaltfelt. Row 9, going to be Brian Moore Jr. and Trevor Royer. Row 10, J.D. Myers, Terrell Wheeler, and then Joshua Cotton in the 21st spot.
Oh, could see that the
So
cars.
that is the starting lineup for that, but
So the
not
cars
everyone's
are,
out there.
No, the cars are rolling around. So there has been a change, obviously, with all these drivers in the one server. They are, again, half of those drivers are going to be already locked into the C, and the other drivers are going to come from the D main, which is on the racetrack right now. So the cars on the racetrack, you can see the 55 car of Brian Moore Sr. He's going to line up on the pole position. To the outside with the 57 car. That will be Austin Miller. Position number 3 is going to be the 05 car of Casey Miller, and to the outside from position number 4 with the 94 car of Gary Offit. Third row inside with the 16 or the 3 car. That'll be Justin Zapp. I call him Justin Zapp. He's always told me to call him Justin Zapp. And then to the outside with the 7 car of Donald Schmalfelt with the 3 of, well, that was Justin Zapp, but it looks like it is going to be Tyler Lucy at the back of the bus.
There we go. That looks more right.
Yeah, like I said, just changing it just a little bit just for the way that how the servers are being run here tonight. Again, we previously, we've seen it run in each different session, but that was when the track state KR, that was when the track state used to roll over fairly quickly. Unfortunately now, not unfortunately, but fortunately, the tracks take a little bit longer to wear in. Which means we get more cars in the server, and you can run a C and a B, C and a D main, C and a B main, B and an A main. Either way, you can all run it in the one server. KR, looks like we're ready to go racing here off turn number 4.
That we are. Brian Moore Sr. going to bring them to the green flag, and here we go. On the throttle, away we go. D main, everyone making it in, so they are battling for position in the C.
Moore is going to lead him down the back straight away. Casey Miller in the 05 finds himself in the runner-up position. Then you go back to Austin Miller in third. Justin's at fourth. Donald Schmalfelt rounds out the top 5. Gary Offit, Tyler Lucy. Those are your 7 drivers. Meanwhile, challengers on for second place as Casey Miller and Austin Miller. They nearly go side by side. Brian Moore Sr. still leading the way here in D-main competition.
Yeah, Brian Moore has that right rear right there in the fluff, and it is working very well for him, but he's getting a challenge from Casey Miller trying to take over that top spot while using the inside line, the 04, down there right on the bottom.
Down to the bottom goes
05.
Yeah, Casey Miller down to the bottom side, down into turn number 1 and 2 track. Still very, very fresh here, even after about 20 minutes of practice session between the D and C main cars. Here comes Donald Schmalfelt down to the inside. Schmalfelt move him up to position number 3, but the battle is on for the race lead. Brian Moore Sr., Casey Miller. Brian Moore Sr.'s got it down into turn number 1, but Miller fights back on the inside. Moore sweeps back around the outside past the Brian Clausen Sweet Tower, back to the race lead.
Yeah, Miller couldn't quite hold it on the bottom through 1 and 2, but got a better run through 3 and 4. Moore, however, gets it wound up and gets a heck of a run down the straightaway.
I think Casey Miller's fastest option is going to be run the slider line here in 1 and 2, but down to the bottom of 3 and 4, he sticks it like glue down there. 6 laps left to go here in your D main of the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals here from the Knoxville Raceway. Miller still leads, coming to 5 to go, KR.
Malfelt having an issue. Donald gets back into the throttle though and gets rolling, but loses a few spots in the process. as Miller now starting to feel a little bit of pressure from Moore. He is charging right back and trying to take over that top spot once again.
Yeah, like I said, Casey Moore's best option in 1 and 2 is just to run a slider line, seeing as though the left front needs to be right up on that inside berm just to make stuff happen. But driving away now from Brian Moore Senior, coming to 3 to go, 1.5 miles around the Knoxville Raceway. Meanwhile, Gary Alford trying to close in on Austin Miller down the front straight away.
Yeah, 3 laps to go, taking a shot, looking out the back of Casey Miller in that 0.5 at the rest of the drivers as they make their way through 3 and 4. And well, I'll tell you, this track is nice and fresh, and they are really able to keep their foot in it the whole way around.
Coming down into 3 and 4, penultimate time, your D-main drivers here on championship night. It is Casey Miller getting the white flag. 1 lap left to go here at the Knoxville Raceway for the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals. It is championship night into corner number 3. Off for corner number 4, Casey Miller will get the win in the D-main. Brian Moore Senior will come home second. Third up the line is going to be very close between Austin Miller and Gary Alford. But boy, I tell you what, Kyle, what a way to wrap up what was your D-main, as the drivers get set just for a brief little warm-up stint here. And in fact, they may not even get onto the racetrack. We'll just have to wait to see if Race Control decide to give them just a couple of minutes. But boy, I tell you what a way between Austin Miller, Gary Alford as well. 2 1,000ths of a second just separated those the 3rd and 4th place drivers. Donald Schmorfield home in 5th, Justin Zapp 6th, and Tyler Lucy was your 7 cars in the D-main.
All right, so now that we got a chance to catch our breath after that heck of a battle for the D-main, all those drivers, like you said, are transferring into the C, and then that's when things are going to start seeing the elimination.
Yes, so as of the next race that you will see on the program is going to be the CMK. He just said it. It is elimination racing from here on out. If you don't make it, if you're not inside the top 4, come the end of the what will be 15-lap C main, well, you can kiss your chance at trying to become or even trying to run the alphabet soup here for the Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals here at the Knoxville Raceway. The 6th annual running of this event. And boy, I tell you what, after what we've seen over what is now 10 nights of straight racing, Kyle, boy, these guys have really stuck it in, whether it's been from the 360 Knoxville Nationals to the Ironman 55 just on the weekend, the Capitani Classic, and of course the prelim nights, Hard Knocks night. It all comes down to this one to find out who is going to be your main event winner.
All right, so here we go. They're getting ready to roll out once again.
I'll be able to tell you the starting lineup too if you just give me 1 second.
Cool. Because Casey Miller and Brian Moore, they're on the front row.
So how they are going to line up. So from what I can see, it'll be Christopher Moret on the pole position. To the outside of the front row is going to be the 32 car of Christopher Lynn. Position number 3 is going to be car number 14. I'm just trying to go through these. It's Derek Patetti. The 87 car will start from position number 4. That is Joshua Cotton. Position number 5 with the 021 car of JD Myers. Position number 6 will be the 09 car of Brian Moore Jr. 5th, your 7 starter. I lost where I was counting. 7 starter will be the 15 car. I'm just trying to find it. That's Michael Sheridan from to his outside with a 17. Could apologise. That's Tyler Isley. Then we go back to the 20. That is Jonathan Lowe. To his outside will be the 79 car of Dean Reynolds. Then we go back to the 73, which will line up on the inside. That's Nicholas McGeethy. To the outside, Matthew Crokey in the 2. And then Terrell Will will go back to the inside. And then, of course, our D-main drivers will line up from there on how they finish. So we are looking at the iRacing 1 to green signal right now, KR. But again, this is not the way they're going to start as they roll around. In fact, this is the way they're going to start, but again, once they get past the start-finish line, then of course we are ready to go racing. They'll do one more lap once the iRacing green, just to make sure that there's no funny stuff with the timing. We've seen it happen previously. Again, just to make sure that none of that happens, again, we do the extra lap under what is technically green flag conditions, but it's not racing conditions.
Yeah, and what we're trying to do is fit a format that iRacing doesn't have programmed into what they expect. So doing that extra lap gives everything a moment to clear black flags if they pop up or anything like that.
So safety car should work its way to the infield. That it does, and again, you're going to see what will be 16 laps on the board. However, again, we take that lap away because iRacing green flag comes out. Like KR just said, we try and clear the blacks and whatever. And then, of course, we will get ready for the start of a 15-lap C main. So as they roll down the front straight away, and there's the first problem that I see. Oh, no, now it's fixed itself up. It was showing Tyler Lucy at the front of the field. But here we go, 21 cars, KR getting ready to do battle in the C main. 15 laps on the board. Top 4 going through. 5th and 6th will be alternates. It's time to go racing here at the Knoxville Raceway.
All right, here they come off of turn number 4. Hold on to your butts, because here we go. And man, did Christopher get a huge jump.
Keep an eye in the middle of the pack. The 90 car of Trevor Roy trying to come through, but Christopher Lynn, Derek Patetti come together. Patetti's going to go around along with Cotton in the 87. The 32 of Lynn, Trevor Roy, front end damage on the 90 machine, and also one of the Moore cars. I believe it's Brian Moore.
And that started with Lynn getting out of shape coming off of turn number 2. And if you give me just a moment here, I need to set that up for you. All right, let's see here. Take a look at the replay, and this one did start with Christopher Lynn in the 32 and got very loose coming off the corner and chased the car all the way around, collects the 87, the 14, the 90, Brian Moore Sr. 5 or 6 cars getting caught up in that one. On board with Lynn.
Tell you what, you really hate to say it because these drivers have waited all night. The preparation that's gone into getting their cars ready for this event, and then to have to run through what is going to be, or what was going to be the alphabet soup. Now, unfortunately, a lot of damaged race cars that we can see on the racetrack. It just makes it, and you can pretty much kiss their championship night goodbye, because they would need an absolute miracle to come back and make this one work. Although I'm going to say Patetti in that 14 car as well, he got a little bit lucky because he was the car on the inside of the 32 car of Christopher Lynn when they made contact. He's able to still roll around, but you got to wonder how much damage is on that 14 car as he's going to restart in that second position.
All right, well, we took a couple of looks at it there. The lights have gone out on the Chevy Silverado. And it looks like Royer, done for the night, pulls onto pit road. Early exit for the 90, and that driver always a threat to win. And the 14 going to be able to regain the spot. He is going to restart in second. So Patetti really making out like a bandit there.
Well, we'll see how much damage is on the race car. We'll see how much power he's got in that number 14 machine as he still holds on to the runner-up position. Meanwhile, there is a battle between Brian Moore Jr. in the 09 to the outside on Sheridan. Sheridan goes down to the inside on JD Myers, down into turn number 1 and 2. Sheridan locks the bottom side, looks for the runner-up position. Oh no, look out, JD Myers, Brian Moore Jr. They come together, but we are yellow. Probably a saving grace there for the 021 car of JD Myers.
Yeah, Myers, I'm not sure what happened there, but that car took a hard left coming off the corner. And, man, let's see if we can back that up. Myers almost got into Massa Sheridan, but he for sure got into It looked like Brian Moore Jr. on a board with the 09, and just out of nowhere gets clobbered, keeps it off the inside wall. Good save.
A very good save there, considering that the way the contact was at the midway point of the back straightaway, you thought every chance that he was going to jump the inside berm and absolutely smack that guardrail. But hats off to JD Myers in the 021 car, somehow saves it. And again, which means we basically get ready to come back to green here in a couple of laps' time as these drivers, again, they're all fighting for just 4 transfer positions, 5th and 6th place. Well, there's a lot on the line for the 5th and 6th place drivers as well, because they are what is known as the alternates, as the 1st and 2nd reserves in the B main. And should a couple of drivers not make the call for the B main, that will elevate the 5th and 6th place cars to the tail end of the B main, which means, well, they get another shot and another opportunity at potentially running the soup and getting into that championship race.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for someone if they can pull it off from, being the alternate. And that possibility for sure exists. This is, cartoon racing, and internet connections do mess up from time to time.
Lights are out on the safety car, the pace truck, as we get ready. Christopher Moret in that number 7 machine, getting ready to fire us back underway. 12 laps left to run here in your C main, as it's Moret, Patetti, JD Myers and Sheridan. Sheridan once again down to the inside through turn number 1 and 2, and Sheridan has got 3rd. Now trying to come after Derek Patetti down into turn number 3 and 4, looking for the runner-up spot. Michael Sheridan, you've got a new 2nd place car, as Sheridan now closes in on your race leader, Christopher Moret.
We'll see if Massa Sheridan can get into that top spot. He's got plenty of laps to do it, plenty of speed, and he is already down to the inside. Gonna dig hard coming off of 4. That bottom lane working very well for him.
I mean, there's been no stranger to running the big events here with the Dirty Old Bus, but also making it into the World Championships with the 410 wing sprint car. So he knows how to race these race cars, but it's still Christopher Moret to lead the way with just 9 laps left to run. Just as we get into turn number 1 and 2, yellow comes out as Sheridan passes him, but we'll have to give the spot back. And again, as these drivers, the laps start to tick down, KR, they're starting to get just a little bit more desperate. They all want to transfer into the B main and have a shot at getting into the B main or the A main.
Oh, wow. And this one was a huge hit for Casey Miller. And it looked like he got J-Lo as well. One car was already in the wall as Miller came into the corner. I didn't quite see who that was.
That was JD Myers.
So Myers into the wall. It looked like something broke on the Myers car. Miller pulled down low to miss him and found old J-Lo.
Well, the contact was actually from Gary Offit. And then Jonathan Lowe got tagged by the 57 car of Austin Miller. So there's a couple of different scenarios there that happened in 3 and 4, and it all started with JD Myers getting into the wall into turn number 3.
Well, quite the domino effect there. And Christopher Lynn, late to the party, ends up flipping up and over. Wow.
It's a strange night here at Knoxville, KR. It's a real strange night, and we know
they're very rarely straightforward.
Yeah. And they can get very, very heated in the moment of battle, let me tell you that one. But here we go. Lights are out. 9 laps left to run. And boy, I tell you what, Michael Sheridan, doesn't he look the goods as he looks to take out your C main victory and transfer to the back of the B main. Again, we only take the top 4 with 5th and 6th place cars. They will be alternate reserves.
All right, here we go. Gonna get 9 laps to go this time. The green flag waves. The 15 of Sheridan right down to the bottom. The 7 of Moore to the high side. They're picking up right where they left off.
Keeping an eye on Derek Patetti in the third spot. Brian Moore Jr. now goes to the inside, looks to take over position number 3. So there's the battle on for the lead and the battle on for the transfer position. Moorette, Sheridan side by side. Give it to Moorette. Meanwhile, Brian Moore Jr. is up to third. Here comes Tyler Isley to the inside of Derek Patetti down into turns 3.
Isley gonna make contact with the 14. He smacks the inside wall, and that car comes to a rest. He is out of the race and clears it before the caution comes out.
That puts Gary Offit in the 94 machine, now up to the 4th position. Meanwhile, new race leader down into turn number 1 and 2. Sheridan's got it on the low side. Here comes Moorette back to the outside. What a drag race. What a race between Moorette and Sheridan. Sheridan down low, Moorette upstairs.
Sheridan trying to get that run up off the bottom, and it's getting narrower and narrower. As he touches that berm with the left front, it really upsets his car.
Yeah, something that Sheridan has to work with, but right now what he's working with is a nearly 3/10 of a second lead with 4 laps left to run as your yellow flag will come out here. Once again here at the Knoxville Raceway, it is the 14 car of Derek Patetti. We'll see if we can bring up as to what happened there on the back straightaway going into turns 3.
Justin Zapp had a great run to the outside, and Patetti didn't know he was there.
Well, he had somewhat of a decent starting spot in tonight's C main, but unfortunately now he'll have to go to the tail end of the field. But I mean, still back to what is going to be 13th place. It's still got to get 9 spots if he wants to get back to the front of the field or near the front of the field and have a chance at getting into your B main. But you got to think, KR, with only 3.5 to go, that's a mile and a half around the Knoxville Raceway. Michael Sheridan, Christopher Moorette, Brian Moore Jr., those 3 drivers look to have it in the bag. But I mean, it's sprint car racing. Anything can happen right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, the field is getting smaller. Isley is out of the race, Christopher Lynn out of the race, Casey Miller, Dean Reynolds, Brian Moore Sr., Trevor Royer, Matthew Croak, and Joshua Cotton all out of the race. 13 cars still out on the track. So, well, I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to make a race with 13 cars than with 21.
Yeah, you've got to have your equipment not bent, not scratched, not damaged. That's how you're going to have a good chance at getting into the back of tonight's B main. But as the lights do go out on the racing.com official page truck, it is Michael Sheridan to lead us back to the green flag. And again, a very slow and constant, steady pace past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, and you really get a feel. Yes, it might be on the virtual world, but boy, I tell you what, tempers flare. And the anticipation, the intensity is starting to build from here on out, because not only have we got 3 laps left to go in the C main, then it all comes down to a 22-lap B main and then our 50-lap main event championship night.
All right, here we go. Green flag getting ready to come out. As they stab the throttle, we're on board with our 4th place driver, Gary Offit, and looking out from underneath the front axle. And this camera is getting pelted with all kinds of dirt.
Tell you what, the 7 car of Donald Schmallfeld's trying to the inside, down into 3 and 4, and this could be a battle for a spot, or this is the battle for the spot in tonight's B main, or whether you could be the first reserve. Schmallfeld goes to the inside on Offit. Offit's got the run off turn number 2 down the back straight. Coming to the white flag, KR.
White flag one more time around. Michael Sheridan in the number 15. Has that clean air, no pressure behind him, but he can't make a mistake because that number 7 is right there. But off at turn number 4, here comes Michael Sheridan. He is going to get it done into tonight's C main. Transfers into the B with Moore, and it looked like Schmallfeld got the 4th and final transfer spot at the last minute.
Boy, what a way. Tell you what, there was some controversy on the back stretch off turn 2 there for that 6th and 7th position. But I can tell you right now your official results. So your top four will go through Michael Sheridan, Christopher Moret in second, Brian Moore Jr. third. Donald Schmorfeld is going to get the fourth and final transfer spot by just shy of 8/100ths of a second. That'll put Gary Offit as the first alternate, and Nicholas McGeethy edges out by Tyler Lucy by .027 of a second for that second alternate. So for Tyler Lucy, unfortunately, his night is going to come to an end along with Jonathan Lowe, Derek Patetti back to ninth, and Terrell Wheeler is going to round out your top 10.
Oh my. Now we move on to the B, and that one's going to be fun in itself.
That it certainly is. So our field is set for the B main. We've just got to wait. We're not going to, I don't think we're chatting to any of the drivers throughout the course of the in between the break. So,
yep, no one's in here. I'd say we could talk to them, but I don't see anybody.
well, I'm sure if they.
I don't see anyone I want to talk to, I should say.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll talk to. Actually, you know what? Let's bring down Double D, Darren Detweiler, because he is. He's had a problem of being a commentator's curse as of late, but he's already locked himself into the show. Darren,
how's it going?
how are you feeling? You're a little bit nervous right now. I can hear that in your voice, but how are you feeling going into the main event here tonight soon?
Well, I accomplished what I set out to do this week, and that was just make the A main. Last year, I had absolutely no luck. Had internet problems during the 360 Nationals, if I remember right. And then during the 410 Nationals, it just didn't have the car underneath me and didn't really do much of anything. I think I was a C main car. So coming in tonight, starting in the top 15, I feel really good. Now it's just a matter of we'll see where things shake out.
Oh, you got 50.
Well, Darren,
You go.
go ahead, Brett.
There you go.
All right. Well, Darren, I was going to say, your 3D, your race cars, they always look great. A local posse driver here, if you will, misplaced here up in Iowa. So how do you feel about being accepted into posse?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen if I actually have a good finish, with the posse always claiming anybody that runs well.
I better be careful. Brett will be elected into posse if he does too good of a job in this broadcasting stuff.
I tell you right now, I will not go to the posse. I'm not a one state wonder.
He's wanted in multiple states and countries, ladies and gentlemen.
Wanted's a very big. You're using that word very loosely, I must say, KR. But Darren, you got 50 laps on the board. I think there's going to be a yellow right around the halfway stage. What do you look for in this B main coming up? Because that's going to be run just before the A main, and it's going to be basically on the same track state.
The main thing I'm going to be looking for is just how equal top and bottom are looking. Because if the bottom is there early in the A main, I think a lot of guys are going to go ahead and just run down there, save the fuel, save the tires early, so they can run up top later in the race. I'm honestly looking to just do the opposite of what most people do and hope to be there at the end. Had a good car through the 410 Nationals, got a great team around me with Most Wanted Motorsports, and it's one of those things. The 50 lapper going straight through is a very different experience. We did the practice race before everything kicked off, and just to see if we could actually make 50 laps. And after seeing that it's possible, there was a bit of a debate back and forth. Do we just run it at 40 or do we go ahead and do the 50? There was concerns about guys just spending the first 25 saving tires, but it should be interesting how going straight through on the 50 with just a halfway break just to kind of catch your breath should be quite an experience, especially with tire wear being how it is.
I'll certainly look forward to that 50-lap main event. Darren, good luck in the 50-lap main event. We'll let you get prepared as you get ready to watch the B main just like the rest of us.
All right. Catch you all later.
Darren Detweiler. Let's bring in the man that finished second spot here tonight in your C main. That's Christopher Moret. Christopher, second place in the C main. Now you lock yourself into the B. Overall thoughts on the C main than what you just ran, and again your thoughts coming up for the B main.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's it.
That was pretty good. I wish I would have locked myself in last night. Kind of spun tires and tired went the crap after that late restart. Yeah, or else I wouldn't be in this situation right now. I'd be in the A. But here we are.
Oh, we had 25 laps in the prelims and, of course, and on Hard Knocks night. Your B main is going to be 22 laps. You said you spun your tyres late in the race last night. What do you learn mostly from last night as you get prepared for the B main coming up here in a few moments' time?
I think it's just saving tires, I think, and a little less aggressive.
Now, in saying that, you said you want to save tyres. Is that going to be a lot harder to do, knowing that you're going to be coming from the back of the field rather than starting up front?
I think in the backfield, yeah, it might be a little bit easier back there because I think a lot of people are going to do it and they're going to fall back. But I guess just think and keep myself out of trouble, and hopefully I get fourth or in top four tonight.
Okay, I got anything for Christopher?
No?
All right, now that you're here,
Yeah.
and I struggle with it,
Yeah.
let me know how to say your last name.
It's Moret.
That sounds close. I've been saying that right. I've been saying it mostly right all week.
Yep, the whole time you've been,
Yes.
Brett, you've been saying it right.
Yes, I am the winner.
Yep.
I finally done something right, KR.
Crisscross is fine. That's been my nickname in the racing community for a long time. So either way.
Well, there you go. Well, man, either way, you're into the B main, got a lot of work cut out for you, but I'll tell you what, there's still quite a bit of speed left in that 7.
Oh, yeah. That ABR setups, they really do a good job on helping the STR team out, and just good setups.
All right, man. Well, nice job, and we'll see you in the B main later on tonight.
Alrighty, sounds good, guys.
Well, there you go, Brett.
Yeah, I did something right for a change. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Praise Jeebus.
The Jesus is with us. All right. Do we know about how much longer until the server switch is on?
Not sure. I think they are, as far as I'm aware, the last I just seen that they're working on the server for the A main and the B main. Again, like, it's going to be, for the folks watching at home, it's going to be exactly run what we just seen with Heat 1, essentially running as the B main, and then the A main will, of course, run as the championship nights. The drivers have been sent their invitation, so they're just waiting on the server to launch. I think it's going to take at least another minute or two. So, yeah, I think it's probably best if we maybe take a break.
I'm with you on that. We'll take a quick break. Guys, no one go anywhere. We'll be back to bring you the rest of tonight's action. So until then, grab a drink, make you a sandwich, sit down. I don't know. Stand up, stretch. But we'll be back here in just a moment.
In this iRacing how-to, we will cover optimizing your PC and monitor settings in order to optimize iRacing's performance. Start by installing Windows operating system updates, including optional updates for your hardware. You will also need to perform a clean install of the latest GPU drivers available. Your graphics card provider should be contacted directly if you have any further questions or issues with their products. iRacing is not affiliated with any of the following websites. Depending on which graphics card you have, you'll have to visit either NVIDIA or AMD's support site. For NVIDIA graphics cards, go to the Drivers tab and select the card that you are using from the drop-down list. Click Next and Download to install the drivers. You can also download GPU drivers from NVIDIA's GeForce Experience software. To do so, open GeForce Experience and click the Drivers tab. GeForce Experience automatically detects what graphics card you have installed. Click Download to install the drivers. Next, navigate to your Windows settings and then System, Display, and Advanced Display. Confirm that your desired monitor or monitors is listed. If you are running more than one monitor in Sim, confirm that each monitor's refresh rate and dimensions are the same. Vertical Sync, or V-Sync, forces the frame rate to lock your monitor's refresh rate. By disabling this option, you will notice increased frame rates in Sim beyond your monitor's refresh rate. To do this, right-click on your desktop to open your NVIDIA control panel. Then, click on the Manage 3D Settings tab. Under the Global Settings tab, scroll down to Vertical Sync, turn it off, and click Apply. You can also turn off Vertical Sync by choosing iRacing Motorsport Simulator.exe in the Program Settings tab. Some additional issues have been reported when NVIDIA PhysX processor is set to auto-select. This is most common on laptops. To manually set the PhysX processor, go to the Configure Surround PhysX tab in your NVIDIA control panel and select your graphics card from the drop-down list. For AMD graphics cards, go to the Drivers section under the Radeon Graphics tab. Here, select the card you are using from the drop-down lists. Then, pick the version of Windows you are running and download the AMD software package by clicking Download. You can also download GPU drivers from AMD's Auto Detect and Install software, which you can find linked at this site. After your graphics install, let's go over the iRacing application itself. Launch the iRacing UI and confirm that the iRacing Documents folder is installed correctly. To properly work, the iRacing Documents folder must be at the location of C drive, Users, your username, Documents, iRacing. The iRacing Documents folder is where your replays, paint schemes, setups, and other configuration files are saved. We strongly recommend not backing up or redirecting your iRacing Documents folder to Microsoft's OneDrive system to ensure your files stay intact. This is separate from your iRacing installation directory, which is where the files of the game are installed if you purchased iRacing on our website. If you purchased iRacing on Steam, your installation directory by default would be located within C drive, Program Files x86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, iRacing. If you do not see this folder, reinstall the service with the latest installer from our website. Next, we will want to set up our display using the Graphics Config tool. In the iRacing UI, navigate to the bottom left corner and select Settings. Click on Interface and then Run Graphics Config. Confirm the correct display and graphics card from the dropdown, and then select Auto Configure. Then, in the iRacing UI, click on the monitor at the top and confirm it is set to Display. From here, open an iRacing session and navigate to the Options tab of your in-sim UI. Click on Graphics, and then confirm iRacing is using the correct display settings and refresh rate at the top. You can find more information regarding GPU drivers and setup on our support site, linked in this video's description. iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted and league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
He's not asked me to crack a car one, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you do it. It's your tradition. I'm just going to I'm not going to say take a step back because I'm in a wheelchair, so I'll take a wheel back and I'll let you do what you need to do, brother.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, since it is requirement, it's in my contract, I got to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's for y'all for joining us here tonight. Thank you so much for letting us get to broadcast these races. Thank you very much for joining these guys out here tonight. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you participate in chat, thumbs up, subscribe, like, whatever it is that Brett makes you do. But yeah, here we go. Quite the build up for that, I know.
You know what? Part of the
feel
contract.
better.
You've just ticked off a box in the contractual agreement.
That I did. Are we ready to talk to Whiteman?
Yeah. Hey, let's bring him down. I actually forgot I didn't do my homework actually, but I'm pretty sure he's going to start outside the front row. That's exactly what I was doing before I got sidetracked. So we will bring him down. So we'll chat to the man that is already locked himself into tonight's main event, Josh Whiteman. Mate, welcome to the show. Welcome to 10-3 Racing Network. Welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV, and welcome to the 6th annual running of the Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals. How are you feeling?
I don't know. I got a lot of emotions tonight, starting on the front row, like pretty excited, but also like, I don't know, kind of scared because this is a big race. And there's a lot of good cars, around, so it'll be a fun race. We'll see how it works out.
Over the course of a 50 lap, we know the prelim nights have been 25 laps. We double that here tonight. We throw a yellow right around the halfway stage of the race. What do you take from, how do you approach this one? Because with the tyre where you can't just go, whereas the previous build, you can't just go for 20, flat out for 25 and then flat out for the next lap for 25. You've got to save your equipment. How do you prepare yourself to get ready to come into this main event?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You got to take the tire wear into consideration pretty significantly. So just got to be really patient. I mean, really patient. Some of us STR guys were practicing tonight, working up to it, and I think we got it down, hopefully. But yeah, it's gonna take a lot of patience from everybody out there, I feel like. So, and I'm sure a lot of other teams and drivers have been thinking the same thing too. So.
Okay, yeah, got anything for Josh?
Josh, you mentioned having that front row start, and you've had some time to stew over it. With that being said, when you went to sleep, what did you dream of?
Winning the thing, hopefully. Winning the thing, but mainly just staying clean and saving for 50 laps, or for most of the race is probably going to be pretty key. So, but yeah, I dreamt last night that I won this thing. Hopefully it comes true.
Well, man, we all hope it does, but only one person can stand up on top of that final step
Sure.
of the podium, man. So before we let you go, you have any shout outs, thank yous that you'd like to give?
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta give a shout out to all the guys over at Team STR, Scott, our team owner, Chad, Chris, Jeff, all the guys. We've had a pretty good showing in this event. I think Chris Morat just put himself in the B. C. Newcomer Bruce is starting up toward the front of the B. Hopefully, him and Chris both can lock it in, and we can have a good showing tonight for the team. And then big thank you to Aiden and Alex over at ABR Setup Shop for helping us out, make good sets for us.
All right, man. Well, good luck out there tonight, and man, we'll be rooting for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, that was Josh Whiteman. Brett, what do you say we talk to another driver that is locked into the A main?
Yeah, sure. Let's bring in the man that will start position number 14 in tonight's main event. We'll drive the 10M machine of Jack Young. Jack, you got a copy?
So I do.
Hey, buddy, you've done the hard work over the prelim nights. Now you get ready to watch the 22 lap B main, and then you'll get yourself prepared for the 50 lap A main event. What are you looking for in this track once the B main cars finish?
It's pretty hard to tell, to be honest. With this new update, it's so hard to tell what's slick and what's not, especially at this track. That's probably one of the hardest to be able to tell between the two. I just hope that multiple grooves come in. My plan is to obviously save tires because with the new update. So hopefully the bottom groove will come in for me, and then I'd say like the last 20 laps, try to rep the top and see what happens.
Ideally, where would you like to be? Like as I said, you start from position number 14. Where would you like to be at the halfway stage of a main event tonight?
Like position-wise?
Yes.
Or at least somewhere around, at least where I start. Like I said, falling back here with this competition, it's going to be so hard to gain that back. So I like to at least either stay where I'm at or move up. Obviously, it's just the competition is so hard. Once when you fall back, it's just going to be you're going to be clawing your way through to get back up. So you got to be on your feet early.
Like with this competition already locked into the main event, we've got Aiden Vierline, a world championship driver, Alex Bergeron, a 3-time iRacing world champion, Tyler Shell, the newest 410 sprint car world championship, Greg LeMay, he's been in the world championships, Braden Niley, he's been a consistent top 10 driver in the world championship, Vinny Sansone, he's also been in the world championship races, Alex Zazinski finished runner-up in last week's 360 Knoxville Nationals, Kenny Hoffman, he's already locked in, he won last night's Hard Knocks night. Who would you say?
Sorry, I lost you there.
I just say who would be the biggest threat? Who would be the biggest competition coming into tonight's main event?
That's hard to say, man. When you list a group of guys like that, former champions, just all out pros, they're just good at what they do. It's so hard, especially at a track like this. I would have to say someone like Eiler or like Beerline or Bergeron. Those are my top 3 picks if I had to bet.
Well, it's going to be one to watch. KA, got anything for Jack Young?
All right, Jack. You're locked into the A, but I have a feeling you're going to be watching the B main. So, do you have any favorites that you think are going to transfer from the B?
I have 2 of my teammates in the B main and a good buddy of mine also in the B main. So, I hope that they all make it, which is Brett Strickler, Kevin Click, and Sheridan. I hope they obviously make it, but it's not easy with this B. Even the D mains, C mains, and the B mains have really good competition. It's just so hard. So I'm definitely going to be looking out for them and giving them pointers, and hopefully everything is going to turn out good for us.
Well, Brett Strickler starts on the front row for the B, and Sheridan has to come from the C main transfer spot. So he's got his work cut out for him. But Kevin Click, yeah, I could see that being a surprise. Surprise. Basically, he knows how to close the deal.
Right. Yeah, it's just they're all spread out. Well, they're all kind of spread out, so it's just gonna be it's gonna be hard to watch all of them at the same time. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully they all perform good and make it.
All right, Jack. Well, man, before we let you go, do you have anything else that you'd like to add? Shout out, thank yous, I love yous. Someone you need to give a hug to?
Hold on, excuse me 1 second.
Yeah, you can just mute Chris. That's fine. I mean, we do it.
How do you do that?
I've got mine set up as a hotkey, so.
Sorry if you guys can hear him.
It's all part of a plan.
Jeez. Anyways, but I like to thank Brett Mark's sim team, obviously, for giving me the opportunity to run with them this year. It's been a blessing to me, and I'd like to shout out you guys for covering us over all the nights and giving good. You guys have been doing an awesome job, you two. I know that Brett has been announcing in some of my leagues that I run, and you know, you guys just do a fabulous job. I'd like to thank DOB for hosting the Knoxville Nationals. It's definitely not easy on their pocket to host a big event like this, so huge shout out for them to put up all the bull crap that we give them, and all that. And obviously I'd like to thank Brent's sponsors, which is M&M Painting and Construction, Livewire Customs, High Performance Lubricants, Wolfrun Landscapes, Jamie Zarfos Photography, K1 Race Gear, and Babs Paints. You know, without them, I wouldn't be practically sitting here. So that's all I got to say. Hopefully I can get a good run here tonight, and I'll definitely be watching your guys' broadcast after. So.
All right, well, there you have it. That is Jack Young. Jack, thanks for talking to us. All right, what do you say we talk to Andrew May next?
Sure. So I'm going to let you lead in with this conversation now.
You want me to talk to Andrew May? As
Oh,
if I
baby.
have inside information?
No.
What's up, dude?
Mr. Andrew May in the broadcast booth. Andrew, we're taking a moment here and just talking to some people that we can. And, well...
You picked the right one.
Well, what? All right. Let's see what you got. Take it away.
Currently ripping around the top here. I don't know what's going on. The 13 car is pretty fast, so I should probably figure out what he's doing. He's pretty much blown us away here this whole week and the 360 week. So I just need to figure out exactly what he's doing every single lap, and maybe I'll be all right.
Have you tried pushing the pedal that's on the right?
Oh, no, I've been pushing the one on the far left this whole time.
See? I get confused a lot of times as well. That's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
wow. Good call, dude. I'll try that here in this. Oh, in the feature. See what happens.
You know what? You can just do that in the feature too. That's all.
Hey, I'm just saying, Andrew, you can't park there.
Yeah, apparently.
And that guardrail.
Hey, nobody backed into me. That's pretty good.
And the
Little
guardrail.
parallel parking up against the wall.
Just saying, the guardrail doesn't
Right?
move.
All right, Andrew. So you are already locked into tonight's A main. You're going to be starting in 16th spot. When you got locked in that last and final spot, did you breathe a sigh of relief?
Yeah, I did. But I also kind of felt bad because I was tied with my buddy Brett. So, and we kind of got caught up in the same accident on a prelim night. But we kind of laughed. But you know, he'll make it in hopefully here in a B main, and we won't have to worry about it anyways.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. So Brett does start on the front row of the B main. Are you giving him any pointers? Because you're obviously better than him so far.
I wouldn't go that far. I've been trying to help out him and Kevin and Sheridan as much as I can. If you couldn't tell, Sheridan had a lot of run-ins there in his prelim night and last night too. He just kept getting crashed, and I was a spotter, so I feel like it's my fault. Um, but no, the guys just kept running him over. But I tried as much as I could to help him, and got him through the C main there, and hopefully I can help him navigate from about 20th or 21st or wherever he starts in the B main up front. But yeah, I'll try to help those other guys out too. Kevin obviously starts a little bit better position. Brett's on the front row, so hopefully they can transfer in and get in the feature here.
All right, Andrews. I have one more question. You're in the 31. You got Jeremy Zarfos Photography and a couple other big names on that race car. So, who's the first person you're going to think when you win tonight's A main?
Probably Michael Sheridan. He's kind of, we've been working pretty hard to get fast in the last few weeks, and ever since this new update, I struggled a little bit, but I started figuring out, and then I struggled again, and then me and Sheridan really have been putting in a lot of work to figure out what we want to do here. Even after last night's Hard Knocks, me and Sheridan hung out for a little bit in Discord and worked on some setup stuff for tonight, and so far so good. So the reason I've been running pretty good so far is because of him. But obviously Jeremy's obviously another guy. He's the one that brought me into the Brent Marks sim team, and we have a lot of things in common regarding our work careers and iRacing and real life racing and things like that. So really thankful for Jeremy to bring me on board last year, and I've been running pretty good, so got to thank him and Brent for obviously putting a team together and giving us an opportunity to run for him. It's hard for a real life guy. I wouldn't want a bunch of idiots on the internet running my name and my sponsors and stuff like that, but he trusts us to come in here and respect him and his name and his sponsors, and for us to respect our competitors and not get blasted on the internet for doing stuff wrong and crashing guys and making a fool of ourselves.
All right, man. Well, nice job there, and hopefully you'll get to use all that speed that you and Sheridan have found and find your way to the top spot.
Yeah, hopefully I get to talk to you after the race, but if not, thank you guys for doing this and streaming. It's awesome to watch back, and I know that our family and friends and stuff like that enjoy watching these streams and watching us race. So thank you guys for putting this stuff on, and I'm excited to watch it back. Hopefully I can make it to the end.
All right, Brett, you have anything to add to Andrew May?
Running for Brent Marks, what kind of impact or what kind of input does he have on the sim team? Obviously, doing what he does in real life and traveling around to different racetracks around the country. What sort of impact does he have on your race team and more so you as well?
We have a group chat on Facebook, and he'll stop in and chat with us and see what's going on, and he shares some of the stuff that he's doing in his personal life and in his racing life with us. So it's kind of see that he's just such a down-to-earth dude. If anybody went to pits, they could talk to him just like you and me right now. He's an awesome guy. I met him first at the World Finals last year when I first joined the team, and he stood and talked to me for about 20 minutes in the pits. He really appreciates us. We kind of go out and, we put the Facebook posts out there, his sponsors and us, and he shares them, and, he likes the extra marketing basically for his sponsors and himself and our team. So it's fun to put it on for somebody. When you race and it means something to you, like to me, obviously it means something for me to run. I've always been a Brent Marks fan, so it was like so awesome to be able to join the team, and I've always taken it as a special opportunity and didn't ever want to ruin this for myself. Some of these guys run into each other and run each other over and intentionally wreck each other, but I try not to get into all that, because I have a name to represent every time that we race and we're on stream like this. So
just a little.
It's been a big impact, especially for me and Jack, and bringing Jack on. He's always been my buddy. We've been racing the stuff for 2 years, and or 3 years really, and I've kind of held him under my wing, and now he's starting in front of me. So
Now obviously we just had the real life Knoxville Nationals just happened a little over a week and a bit ago. Has he sort of spoken to you about where what to do? Is he just sort of well, you guys run my racing more? He just sort of lets you guys go do what you need to do.
Yeah, he just kind of lets us go do what he does, especially during the racing season. His life's so busy. Obviously, he just got married, and he has his own life, and he has his own car to take care of. He's not too worried about what we're doing. Just go out and race and compete and have fun, really. Is what he says every time I see him and talk to him about this stuff. He just wants us to have fun and represent him while doing it.
Andrew, good luck in tonight's 50-lap main event, and let's hope we get to chat to you at the end of the night.
Yep, thank you guys.
There you go. Another driver talked to. Got about 3 minutes left or so. Do you think we got time for another one?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Why not?
I'll let you talk to Gary.
All right. We'll bring in Gary Onford in the number 94 machine, who is currently sitting in the pit area waiting for the B main cars to get onto the racetrack. Gary, welcome into the stream. You're into the B main. How you feeling?
Oh, I feel like a long shot. Come from the D to the C to the B, and I'm excited, boys. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I would call Vegas and tell them I probably a 99-1 long shot on getting this done tonight. But I sure appreciate all you guys for the broadcast and Chris for this wonderful last 10 days. And also better give a shout out to my wife. But Brian and Greg and Keith and Devo, Jack, and Keith, gotta give them all supports. They've been helping. We've been up working late couple nights trying to get set up. I feel like I was slow all week. So, been an exciting week though. You guys got how many energy drinks do you have in you?
Maybe we can go all night. I'm ready to go all night.
Yeah,
but
tracks.
You've had the
track's looking like it's going to be up there on the top for tonight. It's going to be exciting.
That'll get burnt in very quickly. Expect that bottom and middle to come back in late towards the race, especially with the tyre wear. But mate, you just said you've had to run the SUP, you've had to run the D main, you're locked into the C, you ran the C, you get into the B, now you get to the B. What would it mean to you personally to lock yourself into the 50-lap championship race here in a moment?
Wow, that's, that'd be like a year goal. Last year we raced the DOB and I think I was like last in the D several races, so it would mean a lot for the 2023 schedule.
KR, got anything for Gary here?
Gary, you've had to work your way forward here from the outset of your night. So, with that being said, are the arms getting tired yet?
Oh no. I got like 3 energy drinks in me. We were up to like 2 o'clock last night working on setup, so I came home, took a nap, had to be at work at 7 Central Time, and got home and took a nap and ready to go.
Central Time, that's God's time.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful heat through the Midwest. We've been averaging about 101. Just lovely.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
So.
Yeah. Pretty sure I don't have a single piece of dry clothing.
Yes, we got fans running and just hope the ACs don't shut down.
That's right. All right, man. Well, nice job getting into the B main. You got one more to go before you make the A. So shout outs, thank yous, I love yous that you'd like to give.
Oh, yeah. To especially Greg Parmley. He gave me great help today on my internet. We've been fighting that problem. Keith and Brian Moore and Brian Moore Jr. and Devo and Jack. I'm sure they're sitting in the boat watching us, listening to the interview. So, but yeah, huge shout out to all of them, and to you guys and to Chris for putting on this 10 wonderful days of action.
All right. Well, man, nice job and good luck in the rest of your night.
All right, thanks. Yep, call Vegas. I don't know if I'm going to be the long shot or not, but it'd be worth $2. You guys have a good night.
I'm a gambler,
All right,
man, so I'm
thank
going
you
to
very
take.
much, man.
I'm a gambler, man. I'm taking those odds.
Taking the $2 odds, huh?
Hey, he said 99 to 1. I'm
There you
taking
go.
those.
Be worth it. Be worth it.
Hey,
I got a quarter. I can put like $1 down.
yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll throw in the extra. We'll have $5 on him to get through to the show, all right? Who's paying out? I think Tim Sims can pay out. He's the money man around here.
He is the money man around here.
Speaking of money men, just getting word from Race Control where we were talking about top 4 going through from the B. We can confirm that is now going to be the top 6. So the magical number will be 6th, and of course 7th and 8th will be the first alternates if for some reason someone does happen to drop out or anything that has those mechanical issues as to where they are not able to get onto the racetrack. So, but for the moment, top 6, and of course we will have a 4-wide salute in the warm-up session before the main event. And KR, we're going to get to see the greatest sight in all of motorsports.
Man, I'll tell you, that is always it always sends chills up my spine when I see, the Knoxville Nationals, the Eldora Million, the historical big one, all those huge races. When you see that 4 wide, it's just something special.
Really is, and all it is just a simple show of respect from the drivers to the fans watching at home, and or even that will get to watch the replay of it, and you really get a sense of how much anticipation, how much energy has built up over what has been the last 9 nights. Of course, this is night number 10, 10 straight nights of racing. We started last Tuesday with the 360 Knoxville Nationals. We had 2 prelim nights. We had then on the Thursday night, we had the championship night. And KR, you were meant to join us for that one, but unfortunately you had some real life engine stuff to take care of, which that main event went 30 laps green to checker. There was not one single caution in the main event. I mean, what a race that was. Then we traveled to Peeville, Missouri at the Federated Auto Parts at I-55 Raceway. The midgets and the 410s, they had a doubleheader with the Ironman 55 weekend. And then we come straight back here to the Knoxville Raceway. Sunday night, we started off with the Capitani Classic, which you covered that one, and then went straight into prelim competition nights 1 and 2. And then last night, we had the Hard Knocks night, all leading up to the biggest race in the Dirty Old Bastards calendar to find out who will be the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company 410 main event Knoxville Nationals winner. It all leads up to this one, and KR, 2 races left.
Yeah, there's the B main, which we're getting ready to roll out. And you mentioned we're going to take the top 6 out of the B main. And then it becomes the A main. 50 lap A main event. Not only is someone going to be crowned the Knoxville Nationals 410, the DOB Natural Carbon Company 410 Nationals champion, but it also comes to the conclusion of Mr. Knoxville. Whoever has earned the most points throughout all the entirety is going to get the Mr. Knoxville award.
Well, we'll have to wait and find out who that is, but I tell you what, we have got your B main cars to the staging lane now. Let me just do one thing, and then I'll be able to get the starting grid. And there's a lot of cars to go through. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna wait till they get onto the racetrack, because trying to go through 24 cars, I'm gonna lose position. I'm gonna lose count on who is starting where.
I don't blame you. That's a smart move. We'll let them roll out. But I do know who the final 4 are.
Yes.
Does that count?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it does. And then they're technically still part of the lineup, so hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. We're going to start rolling out. whenever you're ready, I'd say you do the grid. You got this stuff nailed down. I don't even know why I'm here.
I don't know why I'm here either. Like, what do I do with my hands? Actually, I know who starts on pole. And that's Brett Strickler. Remember, we go back to the Andrew May interview. He said Brett Strickler starts on pole. That he does. And fun fact about Strickler, he won a prelim night at the 360 Knoxville Nationals. I'm pretty sure it was night number 1 that he actually won. So, again, we've just got to be patient just to get the lineup sorted. Again, we'll do this under pace lap once the field is set. And of course, we will let them loose. We'll get the iRacing green flag thrown. We're not racing straight away because it's going to show 23 laps on the board, but it is only going to be a 22 lap. So that very first lap, once the iRacing green flag comes out, we'll pace around just like we did in the D, just like we did in the C main. We'll pace them around. We'll clear all the blacks if there's any blacks, just to make sure that there is no timing issues whatsoever, because we've had that previously before. And then once they all go past the start-finish line going down into turn number 1, then we'll, of course, let the field roll, and it'll be on the pole sitter, which, of course, we know is going to be Brett Strickler on the front row. To the outside, I can see that is the 17 car of Bruce Jones. He will start outside the second row. Then you go back to the inside. It's the 15C of Carter Chevalier. And to the outside in car number 11, that is going to be Jeff Creamer. Then we go back to Cameron Pritchard, who will start outside the 25 car. That is that's Kevin Click, in fact. I was almost going to call that Richie Preston. Inside the next row is going to be the 65 of Chris Fitz, to his outside the 45 of Bradley Cox. Then we go back to the 27 car of Brad Lamberson, to his outside the 18 of Zach Hoddle. Next row to the inside, David Smill Jr. in the 72, to the outside, Jimmy Barr in car number 12. Jason Nygaard alongside Robert Boggs in the row behind them. Safety car still on the racetrack, so that'll still give me time to attempt to go through this grid. I forgot where I was up to. I went to... Where did I go to, KR? I went to Boggs. There.
Got lost.
Yeah, so did I. Next row back, we've got the 536 of Ryan Field, I think it is, and then the 39 car, that's Joshua Berkey. Follow back, then we go back to your C main winner of Michael Sheridan, to his outside, Christopher Moret on the outside, and then the second last row, Brian Moore Jr. alongside the 7 car. That is Donald Schmalfeld. And then Gary Offit will start alongside the 73 of Nicholas McGeethy in that final row. Keep an eye on the safety car now. Safety car comes in. We are not going green. Hold your horses. Hold all tickets, because iRacing green flag is going to come out once the drivers come across the start-finish line. KR, we are now official. Not just yet. In fact, it hasn't been thrown. Okay, there's the green flag being thrown. And now we are officially on the 1 to green signal off turn number 4. We're going to go racing here in a moment.
One thing I do want to point out, the B main did use both alternates. So both alternates from the B main made it in.
They did. So that was a real important piece of work to make sure you finished in the top 6 of the C main. But here we go, 22 laps on the board, the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals. This is your B main. We're underway, 22 laps on the board.
Brett Strickler got a good jump. He needs that clean air. He wants to be out in front, picking the line that he wants to run. Here comes Carter in the 15 down to the inside to try and give him pressure.
Jones alongside Pritchard. Pritchard slides up, will take 4th away from Jones. Look at Cox to the outside as Kevin Click goes right through the middle. Now the 27 of Brad Lamberson. That battle is on for the transfer spot, but meanwhile, up front it is all Brett Strickler. 2 down and 20 to go.
The 38 is looking good, but one driver who can't be too happy about what has happened, that is the 17 of Bruce Jones. He started on the outside of the front row, and now he finds himself outside of the final transfer spot. Oh, sorry. No, he's still in a transfer. We're taking 6, so he's still good. My bad.
He's
I
just
forgot we were taking 6.
just taken 6. Meanwhile, speaking of a 6, he got the 65 car of Chris Francis. Now he goes to the outside. Pritchard goes right through the middle around Carter Chevalier. Carter Chevalier going to lose 1, maybe 2 positions. The Chevalier rolls the inside of the racetrack. Pritchard along with the 65 of Fritz. And now here comes Bruce Jones as well on screen right now. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place as they work off turn number 4. 17 laps left to run.
The 15 on the inside, the 17 to the outside. That is a heck of a battle for 4th and 5th place. Jason Nygaard turning the fastest lap of this B main, a 16.21. Can that 22 make it one more spot and get into the A main? He has to get around David Smeal in that final transfer spot in 6th.
Your B main here on Championship Night is pretty much what we've seen in the prelim main events. They have been 25 laps. Here comes Nygaard to the inside. He'll take away 6th spot there as he slides up in front of the 72 machine right now. That is David Smeal now on the outside looking in. Here comes Jason Nygaard. Smeal into the wall. He'll lose a spot. Now Kevin Click goes on by. Here comes Bradley Cox as well, trying to make a move inside the top 8. Slide job by Cox right across the nose of the 72 car.
Cox throwing the slider on the 72. Smeal falling back 2 positions. Not what he wanted to see, but still having 13 laps to go. They are battling hard back here around that final transfer spot as Nygaard moves into the top 5. The 22 working his way forward. Brett Strickler in the 38 under pressure from the 21 of Cameron Pritchard.
Gonna say, just seen Bradley Cox make the move from the top side to the bottom side of turn 2, but we'll go back up front. Watch Brett Strickland in the 38, Cameron Pritchard in the 21. This is the battle for the 17th and 18th starting position. Mate, make that, should be 15th and 16th now that we're taking the top 10. So it's now Pritchard to lead into turn number 1 off turn 2. Pritchard's got it, and Strickler, well, he'll fall back to the runner-up position.
38 still running strong. Bruce Jones, who fell back to 5th, starting to work his way back forward. He's now in 3rd place. Chris Fritz, Jason Nygaard round out your top 5 right now. Then Bradley Cox in that final transfer spot in the 45. Carter and Smeal on the outside looking in for the moment with 9 laps to go.
Nygaard to the top shelf, down into turn number 1, rails the cushion, now looks to, well, he got into the back of the 65 and Fritz, he had an opportunity to go underneath him, but he didn't take it. Now Nygaard into the fence, oh boy, he got a little bit lucky there as the yellow flag come out, but the 25, the wing's starting to get pulled back there on the 22, but first yellow of the B main comes with 8 laps left to run, a 14-lap run there from these drivers in the B main. I'm going to say, KO, that sort of caught me off guard a little bit because I thought that we would have probably had about 3 or 4 laps before we had the first caution. But hey, hats off to the drivers to go 14 laps before the first yellow comes out.
Yeah, and this one is going to be a 3-car stack up. The 15, the 25C, and the 51 all get in trouble. The 15 missed the cushion, jumps down to the inside. Kevin Click is right there, and they collect Robert Boggs as well. And so a tough break for these guys. They did have a good run going, and were working their way forward. Speaking of working forward, Michael Sheridan is wasting no time cracking the top 10, and he still has a few laps to go to get those final few positions to make it into tonight's A main.
I think he is 2 spots out at the moment. 2, 4,
Well, we're gonna
6,
find out.
8. Yeah, he's in 8th. So Pritchard first, Strickler second, Jones third, Fritz in 4th, Nygaard 5th, Cox in 6th in the 45, David Smeal Jr. 7th, and Michael Sheridan in 8th.
There you go.
Hey, look, I can count.
Man, oh man.
I had to use all my fingers, though, and now I was out of fingers.
Oh. I'll tell you what, sometimes I have to use my toes, but every time I do, I have to take my shoes and socks off, and then there's this weird smell.
Yeah, I get that too. But see, even if I use my toes, I can't really feel them all that much. So, I mean, they're pretty much null.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta poke them to wake them up.
Okay. Yeah, no, they still don't wake up for me. Anyhow, let's wake up. Let's go back to green. 8 laps left to run. It is Cameron Pritchard in the 21 to lead us back off turn number 4. Strickler right there with him as they work down into turn number 1 and 2. Jones, he was a little bit of a sleep at the restart. Fritz, Nygaard comes after Cox. Now here comes David Smeal Jr. Look at that battle for the transfer position. Right now, Jason Nygaard holds on to it. Here comes David Smeal down to the inside. You've got a new 6th place runner. It's the turn 2 Terribles number 72 machine.
David Smeal doing what he can to run that car down on the bottom and hold on to it. Michael Sheridan, though, had a great run, but then everyone started getting crisscrossed in front of him, and the 15 had to check up. That has cost him some momentum, but Sheridan still in 8th. Now he starts to mount the charge once again.
Here comes the 45. He done exactly what he done a couple of laps ago. He went from the cushion, drove it down to the very bottom of the racetrack. Bradley Cox 3 wide down the front straight away. 4 laps left to run. These 3 drivers fighting it out for 2 transfer positions. Now you throw in the 18 of Zach Hoddle. He's on the outside looking in by 1 position.
The 45 of Cox in the 4th, and they are doing everything they can to hold on to each and every spot that they have. Right now, your final transfer spot, that is the 18, as the caution flag is going to come out.
Pritchard had a 1.1 to 1.2 second lead over Strickler. He was gone before that yellow came in. In fact, it may have been about a 1.5 second lead. So now he will have to give it back up and go back to a single file restart, nose to tail, but that battle now becomes once again for that 6th and final transfer position. And as it stands, Chris Fitz in the 65 has got that, but I got to say, Zach Hoddle in the 18, Michael Sheridan in the 15, and Jimmy Barr in the 12, they are right there sniffing at the tail tank, sniffing the fumes coming out of that number 65 machine. If he's not careful, KR with only 3 to run, anything is possible.
That's for sure. Well, we just saw Crisscross get involved in an issue on the front stretch, and Lamberson tagging the outside wall through 3 and 4, tried to gather it in, and unfortunately he puts that left rear to the right front of Crisscross, and both drivers go for a spin, bringing out the caution.
Oh boy. Again, just as we thought, things are starting to heat up for that transfer position. Now, again, we go back to the single file restarts. Cameron Pritchard, I'm going to say, in the Falcon Brothers Trucking number 21 machine, he has looked very, very good here tonight in the B main. And over that last 4 or 5 lap run to pull about a 1.6 second lead over Brett Strickler. And we all know Strickler's no slouch, so for Pritchard to do what he did, I'm going to say, also keep an eye on the guy in 4th place, Bradley Cox. He knows, I've seen him run it over the last couple of nights. He's been phenomenal on that cushion, but we've got 3 to go. Who will get the top 6? Who will get those final spots into tonight's 50-lap main event?
It is very tight in this B main. You cannot make a mistake, including missing this restart here. Pritchard holding on to him for just a moment. They scatter behind him, and they are going to crash off of turn number 4. Looks like Ryan Field and McGeethy may be getting together.
We've got new 6th place runner right now, Zach Hoddle in the 18. Cox now coming after Brett Strickler and Bruce Jones. Strickler's now back to 3rd. Look at Cox, goes right through the middle. David Smeal on the bottom, 3 wide, 2, a lap and a half to go. The white flag about to come here at the Knoxville Raceway. Your B main, and we're 3 wide off turn number 2, off turn 4, I should say.
Strickler, big wiggle down the backstretch. He is holding on to it and holds on to the transfer spot for the moment. Fritz, Sheridan, they're going to try and take it away.
Pritchard off turn number 4 is going to win. Cox will grab 2nd. Smeal will grab 3rd. Oh my, what a finish that was. Bruce Jones. Zach Hoddle is going to grab 5th. 6 is going to go to Brett Strickler. Oh my, hold your horses, hold your tickets as the B main cars have wrapped up, and it is going to be Cameron Pritchard gets the win over Bradley Cox in second. Third will go to David Smeal Jr., Bruce Jones in fourth. Fifth at the line was Zach Hoddle, and getting the sixth and final transfer position is Brett Strickler, missing out by one spot, and a hell of a drive from the back of the B main. Michael Sheridan comes home in seventh, and Chris Fritz going to come home in eighth. Those two drivers, I believe, might be your first alternates, but man, you got to feel for the likes of Chris Fitz and Michael Sheridan just to miss out by 1 and 2 positions there in that one.
Man, I'll tell you what, that was an absolutely outstanding B main. And if that's what we have to look forward to for the A main, holy cow.
Not only that, that was 22 laps. We've got 50 laps coming up. Can you imagine 50 laps of that? I can.
I don't know if my heart can take it. And I'm just up here in the booth. Can you imagine being in the cars?
No, I really don't want to be in the car for 50 laps.
Oh, good grief. Yeah, I don't either.
Well,
oh, all right. So we are going to have a bit of a warm up here for the A main. Brett, these guys, 24 cars. Going to do a 4 wide salute as they start to roll out.
yes, the drivers were being told to, and I believe that the way that it looks is the way they are going to line up in the starting grid. So, as you can see, Aiden Beerline is on the pole through the middle of that through the middle of that 4 wide is Josh Whiteman, and the 12 car of Alex Bergeron. And then to the outside, let me just get my starting grid up actually, because that would be so much easier than trying to do and read them as the cars are rolling around. But yes, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, as the cars are rolling around, they are rolling around in their starting order lineup. So I can confirm. Here we go. Just waiting. Why do these pages take so long to load sometimes?
Technology.
Yeah, interwebs. Here we go. Aiden Beerline and Josh Whiteman with the first 2 cars on the front row. Alex Bergeron and Sean English will be on the outside of the front row. The first 2 cars on the inside will be Tyler Shell and Gregory LeMay. The next 2 cars to the outside, Chad Griggs in the 27, that's the blue car. And then the 91, the YOB Racing Speed Factory car number 91, that is Matt Grimm. Then we go back to the third lot of 4x4 on the inside. It's Vinny Sansone, he's outside. Was scheduled to be Braden Oliver, but Darren Detwell will now move there. Then we've got the 31 of Andrew May. Alex Sosinski right there, Bradley Cox, and now they're just starting to file in line. It doesn't matter where they are, but ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest sight in all of motorsports. A simple 4 wide salute to you, the fans at home watching here on the Turn 3 Racing Network and on Ultimate Dirt TV. For the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals. This is your championship lineup as they are 4 wide here at the Knoxville Raceway.
Well, I'll tell you, every time this happens, I get a chill, and I just got one once again, and I still can't believe it. I have been doing this broadcasting since probably, I don't know, it's been a couple years, and I still get chills, even seeing that just now.
Again, there is no better sight in all of motorsports, whether it's a virtual world, whether it's the real world. You cannot beat a 4 wide salute, and to see these drivers just go around and just pace, as they know they have got a very, very big job to do, as they are now just been told we are rolling into your A main. And it is time, KR. It has been 10 nights of straight racing here with the Dirty Old Bastards, all culminating to this final race as to find out who will be crowned the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals main event winner.
Couple things to keep in mind. This is a 50 lap A main. We will have a caution at lap 25 to kind of represent what is in the real life Knoxville Nationals. And of course, these drivers do not have virtual mirrors in iRacing. That option is turned off. But as you heard with Andrew May, they do have spotters. So the possibility of information transfer is still there. But regardless, they don't get to have mirrors.
No, and that really takes away. And again, that like we just spoke about, whether it's the obviously the real world, they don't have mirrors, they don't have spotters. So, but you can't really take the spotter situation out of that one. But you can really take the mirror situation out of this one. And boy, I tell you what, I mean, over the last, again, I'm just going to say 10 nights because this is night number 10. Over the last 10 nights, I mean, I think I've done 8 out of those 10 nights, and the racing that has been produced has just been nothing short of fantastic, and that's even with the no mirror situation. So really looking forward to this one, and really looking forward to this 50 lap main event. Again, over the last couple of nights, the prelim nights, night 1 and night 2, and Hard Knocks night last night, the main events have only been 25 laps. They double that tonight. I go back to Saturday night. Last Saturday night with the Ironman 55 at the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway. That was a 55-lap main event. Spoke to Trevor Royer on the Friday night with his win on Friday night, and he said his tyres after 30 laps were pretty much buggered. They went and done 50. They went and done 55, and again the tyre wear situation at a smaller racetrack was burnt up pretty quick. We go now to a half mile, and again that just changes the whole dynamics of what these drivers have to do and how much they have to save. It's going to be interesting to see who sets the pace out in front.
Yeah, and keep in mind 50 laps here is a long time, and they will not be able to change tires. So you've got to manage your equipment from the get-go. The B main, the C main, the D main, those guys could hammer down throughout the entire event. But now it is time to start thinking about how you can manage your fuel, your tires, keeping your car clean, but being in the right place at the right time, because somebody somewhere is going to have to burn up a right rear to come from the back.
Well, I know there was a practice race probably 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, which I'm pretty sure Aiden Beerland actually won that one, so he knows how. I'm sure he certainly would have taken some notes from that 50-lap main event, and we speak about tyres as well, but KR, another thing that we haven't spoken about is the fuel issue. Now, if you are to run flat out, yes, you're going to burn your tyres. Let's just take the tyre wear situation out, okay? If you run flat out, you use 0.7 of a gallon per lap. To get around 50 laps, I think it was needed, you were going to need about 35 or 36 gallons. These cars only allow 30 gallons. To me, if I'm in one of these drivers, I'm filling the car up, and I'm saying, right, I'm saving fuel, I'm saving tyres, I'm ready for a 50 lapper. Let's go racing.
I'm with you on that one, and I am ready to go as well. Holy cow, it has been a long time coming for this one. The A main on its own going to be outstanding. We're going to pace around one more time. Brett, I know you've been digging hard on this. You've been working on it non-stop with the rest of these drivers, the admins, everyone in the league. So I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you letting me tag along and being part of it as well.
I wouldn't have it any other way. It wouldn't have it any other way, but as the field is set now, as they work down the back straight away into turns 3, the safety car is in. We are ready for a start in the 6th annual running of the Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals here from the virtual Knoxville Raceway. 50 laps on the board. We go racing here at Knoxville with Aiden Beerline leading us down the front straight away, and immediately he'll go straight to the inside. Bergeron goes to the low side, looking to the top side. Here comes Sean English around the outside. Boy, he sets a blistering pace down into turn number 3. Lap number 1 looks like it'll belong to Sean English.
English out in front, gets that early lead, and they are all on the bottom in the front. 2 cars on the high side. I was not ready for that. I figured we'd see them kind of more 50-50, but here comes the 99 of LeMay around the outside, and he moves into second place. Or, I'm sorry, he takes over the top spot. The 960 moves into second place, and he's falling back quickly.
Yeah, I think it's all about trying to set the pace out in front. Matt Grimm, boy, he's going hard at it already here in the opening couple of laps. We're 3 down, 47 to go. Grimm will get to the race lead, and now he's got an opportunity to dictate the pace of this one. Again, he's got to be careful if he goes too hard too early. Oh boy, they're starting to check up in turns 3 and 4. Tyler Shell moving back through the field. How about David Smil Jr. nearly inside the top 10? We just seen him run in the B main.
Yeah, and I have a feeling what's going on here is this is what I was talking about before the green flag came out. They are running the bottom to pace themselves, and they are doing what they need to do to get through the first 25 laps. These guys are hardly driving these race cars at all. This is very interesting. This is a huge game of cat and mouse.
Absolutely. It's who can play the better game of chess here at the Knoxville Raceway. Sean English, now here comes the 51 car of Bradley Wilson to the outside, now coming after the 51, coming after the 10 car of Jack Young is still Bradley Wilson. Then you go back to the 21 car of Cameron Pritchard, that's the 8th, 9th and 10th position, 7th, 8th and 9th position, as now Young will go side by side with Wilson down into turn 1 and 2. And we noticed, have a look at your pole sitter, Aiden Beerline. He's back in 14th. And have a look who's right behind him. No doubt these two drivers would have been talking and testing over the last couple of weeks to figure out the best game plan on how they want to approach this 50-lap main event.
Yeah, Bradley Cox in the 45 coming from the B main along with Smil. These two, they've taken full advantage. They have got all the way up into the top 5. Cox in 6th, Smil in 5th, and they wasted no time. They jumped right out. They came straight from the B main. They were still stuck on go, and they launched themselves and worked their way forward. Now they have settled in with the pace that everyone else is kind of running. We're 12 laps in, and these guys are still turning very slow lap times.
Again, it's all about trying to save the tyres, especially towards the back end of this feature event, and you'll get a real good indication on where you want to be. And if you're right around Aiden Beerline, if you're right around Alex Bergeron, Josh Whiteman, those three drivers all started. They started in the first 3 positions. And again, probably smart move here by Josh Whiteman to say, right, if I follow Bergeron, if I follow if I follow Beerline, I follow Bergeron. Those guys, again, like I said, they would have been testing. They know how to save tyres, and knowing that it's a 50-lap main event, at the halfway stage of the race, if we don't see a yellow, we will throw the yellow at the halfway point. So, again, the strategies come into it for the first half to save your stuff for the back end. Meanwhile, Darren Detweiler will go down to the inside on Greg LeMay down into turn 1 and 2. That's your battle for 4th and 5th. Meanwhile, just to the right of that is Bradley Wilson on the outside of Bradley Cox in that 45 machine.
Wilson works his way around the 45 as we're working lap 16, and these drivers are turning 17-second lap times. Further down the pack, they're down in the 18 seconds. Bruce Jones right now finds himself the 24th car in this race. And so this is all about tire saving, and this is wild. Andrew May down into 23rd. Holy cow. I will say everyone's just trying to make it to lap 25 to see that caution come out. And then I have a feeling the last 25 laps are going to be wild.
I think you're right. I think the first 25 laps are going to go green all the way till we get the yellow, because no one wants to use up their equipment. Again, no fast repairs. So once you wreck, if there's any damage to your race car, well, that's pretty much going to end your night. And they wouldn't have spent all week trying to prepare for this race to go up until a race car inside the first 25 laps. Meanwhile, out front, Vinny Sansone, looking at the timing and scoring screen, he is out by almost a 1-second lead over Matt Grimm. David Smil Jr., the man that finished, I want to say, 4th or 5th maybe even third in that B main, has found himself to position number 3. And speaking of the 3, here comes the 3D of Darren Detweiler. Boy, I tell you what, using up some tyres on the top of the racetrack to get around the outside of Bradley Wilson.
Yeah, Darren's starting to rip the high side here in that 3D. I'm wondering if he's trying to gain some positions before this caution comes out, or if it's just a testing session to make sure that that car is going to work good on the high side for the restart.
Spoke with Alex Zazinski pre-race as well before we come into tonight's championship night, and he said he was going to go to the front one way or another. He was going to try and do this one. And right now, well, he's sitting just outside the top 10. He's back in 11th spot. We go back and look at, and something that we normally don't do, towards the back of the field, look at how close these cars are. You look at the likes of Andrew May, Aiden Beerline, Alex Bergeron. Look at how far they are down the order. Josh Whiteman there, Chad Griggs. Said Andrew May's there as well. Kenny Hoffman is there. Sean English is there. Chad Griggs, the 18 of Zach Hoddle. I mean, this is towards the very back of the field. And they've got to be careful because we're coming up. And right now, have a look at your race leader, Vinny Sansone. If he is able to lap some of these cars, that makes it very difficult. And look at Beerline. Beerline's noticed that Vinny Sansone is coming. He's going, right, I'm getting away from this guy. I need to make sure that I do not go a lap down. And now you're starting to see him put the foot down.
Well, it's all going to be for naught as the caution flag is going to come out this time around. We have done 25 laps. I'm sorry, I think we're going to do one more.
Yep.
Yeah, one more. Either way, that caution flag coming out very soon, and these guys really are starting to feel the pressure from Vinny Sansone. And there it is. Yellow flag is out. The 80 does not put any of these guys a lap down, but now you got to wonder, Beerline's fast. Bergeron's fast. These guys started at the front, and they fell all the way to the back of the field. So now they've given up all that track position to try and save their equipment. Did they make the right call, or is it the 80 of Vinny Sansone who has burned a little bit of tire, burned a little bit of fuel, but now he's out in front with clean air?
Well, this is a game of chess that some drivers have to play. And this is the game that you have to play to potentially, or at least have a chance at taking out the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Copy 410 Knoxville Nationals main event. Right now, Vinny Sansone along with Matt Grimm in the 91. That's your top 2. Then you go back to David Smeal Jr. into position number 3. 4th is Darren Detweiler, Bradley Wilson in 5th, Bradley Cox in 6th, 7th is Greg LeMay. Then you go back to the 21 car of Cameron Pritchard in 8th, Jack Young 9th. Rounding up the top 10 is Brett Strickland. Then you go back to Tyler Shell in 11th, Alex Zazinski, Patrick Spangler, Spencer Putney, Bruce Jones, your top 15, Chance Siskowski, Andrew May, Josh Whiteman, Chad Griggs, Alex Bergeron in 20th, 21st is Zach Hoddle, 22nd is Aiden Beerline, Sean English 23rd, and Kenny Hoffman to round out the 24-car field. Lights are out on the iRacing.com Chevy Silverado Pace truck, and we are ready for the final half of this 50-lap main event. And KR, again, the stories are going to continue to unfold. Who has got the better chess game towards the back end of this feature event?
Oh my goodness, here we go, because keep in mind, we were doing 17 fives in the first 25 laps, but now I think we're going to see these guys really start laying it out, and we're going to get down into the 16 seconds once again. In the 80 stabs the throttle, the green flag is out. We are back underway for the second half of tonight's Knoxville Nationals, the Natural Carbon Company 410 Nationals. Oh, here we go.
Problems for May as Wilson came up the racetrack. Oh, no, Strickler in the May. Szynski involved. Strickler involved. And a whole bunch of cars, a handful of cars. Josh Whiteman involved. Bruce Jones involved. And there is some damaged race cars on the exit of corner number 4.
Big time crash. And that one came right as as the green flag came out. I'll get the flags right sooner or later.
They're close.
Let's see what happened here. 17 of Bruce Jones, one of those drivers, involved. 91 of Andrew May.
So,
Sorry, 31.
So it
You
actually
see the 99,
starts,
the 23, and Strickler just plows in and goes end over end.
If you go back a little further, it actually starts with the 51 of Bradley Wilson, who just came up the racetrack going into turns 3, and Greg LeMay probably could have backed out of it. Didn't look like he backed out of it. There may have been not enough time, but that's where it all started. That's where the first initial contact was made, and then of course LeMay, after getting sort of somewhat caught in the guardrail, had to come down the racetrack, came down into the side of Strickler, and again, that's where all hell broke loose, basically.
And that is not what Strickler wanted to see.
No, so we are still under the yellow flag conditions here at the Knoxville Raceway. Again, we are just waiting for the lights to turn off. 23 laps left to run, so it's taken us 2 laps to get our second, or basically, realistically, our first yellow, because we threw a mandatory yellow at the halfway stage of the race, which means the lights are out and we get to go back racing here off turn number 4 with Vinny Sansone. And again, who's got the better chess game here tonight?
Ooh, gotta hold on to it, because I still don't know what to expect from these guys. I can't make my mind up yet who's made the right move. I'm gonna know when the checkered flag falls, though. Don't worry.
Yeah, so will I. I'm right with you. I'll tell you what. I'll pick a winner as they come off turn number 4 on the checkered flag lap. And here we go. Green flag back out. 23 laps left to run again. Who will get the job done? Who will be crowned your 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company 410 Knoxville Nationals winner right now with 22 to go? This is Vinny Sansone, and there is problems once again off turn number 4. And I believe Bradley Wilson once again is involved in this one.
Yeah, Wilson involved. A couple other cars getting a piece of it as well. And a caution flag coming out. And it looks like the 51 into the wall, going into the corner, and then everyone checking up because of it. See if we can't get a better look at it here.
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up on, hit the nail right on the head. The 51 of Wilson just got into the wall, came down, got sideways in front of Jack Young and the 10, Patrick Spangler. Tell you what, Chad Griggs, if you're right on board with Chad Griggs, boy, that was very, very close.
All right, we'll take a look at Chad Griggs just as soon as I can find his name.
Car 26 is in 16th position. Well, should be on the timing screen anyway, somewhere around there.
There he is. Yep, got him. Thank you. Man, did he have to have quick hands right there, eyes up and everything. Couple cars coming off of pit road. The 38 of Brett Strickler, the 47 of Chance Sikowski. They're making their way off of pit lane. Bruce Jones pulling off of pit road as well. So they tried to hammer out whatever damage they could. But now it's time to go back to green flag racing once again. And Vinny on the 80, that orange and blue iconic paint scheme for him. Out in front, gets a good jump over Matt Grimm.
See what Grimm can do here as we work down into turn number 3 and 4. We'll come to 20 laps left to run here off turn 4. 21 to go, sorry. It's still Sansone, Grimm. Bradley Cox is in third. Meanwhile, Tyler Shell trying to come after Cameron Pritchard down into turn number 1 and 2. Slides up right across the nose of the 21. Pritchard will turn it back underneath him down the back straightaway.
A little bit further back, Alex Bergeron has cracked the top 10. Aiden Berline just on the outside. So those guys were at the tail end of the field. Oh, it's 3 wide into turn 1. Bergeron slides up the racetrack from the bottom to the top. They are working their way forward. He is now in the top 5.
Keep an eye on Beerline as well in that 13 machine. He's slowly coming as well. On the top side to the outside he goes. Sean English working to the inside. He'll slide it to the middle of the racetrack. Shell, Detweiler, they go side by side. That is your battle for 6 and 7. Detweiler goes down to the inside. He's got the wing tugged right back on that 3D machine. Meanwhile, Shell comes back at him on the inside. Pritchard all over the back of Detweiler down into turn number 1. What a 3, 4, 5 car battle as here comes Beerline as well to the low side.
Beerline all the way down on the bottom throughout the entire straightaway. Makes it for a hard entry into the corner. He makes it work though. Beerline into 7th place for the moment. Tyler Shell on the top side in 6th. Meal 5th and Bergeron in 4th.
Oh, Detweiler, there were some problems there. We'll go yellow. The 21 of Pritchard just slid up right into the left front there of the 3D machine. Unfortunately, hard into the fence goes Detweiler. He'll bring out the yellow. But Pritchard was not clear of that one. And realistically, common sense would think that the 21 car should go to the tail end of the field after that little incident. We'll see what race control does about that one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. The 21 really can't quite know that the 3D is there, and Darren knows right where that 21 is. Real life racing here, you'd have to back out of that one. Maybe a little bit dirty from the 21, but I don't know. Glad I'm not race control because I don't know how I'd rule that.
That's just gonna say we'll stick next to the admin booth. We'll stay up here in the commentary box, but looks like actually the 21 car has gone to the tail end of the field.
All right, well there you have it. Easy enough. See, had the right call the whole time.
That's 3 times I'm right. That's 3 times in one night. I gotta make sure I'm.
You go.
I
You
think
can buy a lottery ticket on your way home.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just feeling my forward. I might have a temperature here. I'm not feeling it. Let me just check my blood pressure. Hang on. I'll be.
Don't worry, it's through the roof.
Oh, I can tell. It's probably about 160 over 100.
Hey, the lights are out though. So that means it can go up from here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, great. Just what I need. 16 to go. 34 complete in your main event. The 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company 410 Knoxville Nationals Championship Night Championship Race here on the Turn 3 Racing Network and on Ultimate Dirt TV. We come back to green. Vinny Sansone. Now it is time to see what your tyres have got in the final 16 laps. Matt Grimm, Bradley Cox, Alex Bergeron, and Tyler Shell. That's your top 5. Bergeron straight down to the inside looking for a podium position, but here comes Cox back to the outside.
Cox really working that outer lane. Bergeron right through the middle through 3 and 4. Matt Grimm holding up Cox. Cox trying to get around him. And now Bergeron once again in the middle, and that right rear is very close to the wall. Here comes Beerline in the 13. He's to the outside of Bergeron. They both have made it into the top 5.
Yeah, and you really expect Bergeron Beerline to go at it for the 1 and 2 positions. Should they catch up to you, racing and by? Here they come. Slider from Bergeron on Grimm. Shell down to the inside. Beerline back to the inside on Cox. They race down the back straight away. Grimm, boy, I tell you what, you've got a couple of fast cats behind you. We go yellow. Oh boy.
And man, oh man, I'll tell you what, that racing that we're seeing, holy cow.
This is why you see Bergeron and Beerline towards the back of the field in the first 20 laps. They were saving their stuff. They probably would have been half throttle to getting around the Knoxville Raceway. They wanted to save their equipment for this back end. And what will be 13 laps left to run. Of course, Vinny Sansone, he almost got, well, he got to the back of the lap cars, but unfortunately for him, he was unable to pass any of them. So all cars essentially stayed on the lead lap.
Hard hit by the 3D and the 21. 21 running over the back of the 3D there. And Darren Detweiler's night probably going to be done after this.
Yeah, I think he is already back in the pit area. He is, so I think we're probably left with about 12, maybe 13, 14, 15 cars somewhere there. I know a couple of cars in the pit area trying to get some running repairs while we are under the yellow flag here at the Knoxville Raceway. Again, we're just trying to, again, they are trying to piece this one together. If it was 40 laps, different story, but the fact that we go the full distance of a 50-lap main event. Bergeron and Beerline Shell, again, world champions. Two of them have picked up 4 world championships in 410 wing sprint car competition. Beerline, he won the 360 Knoxville Nationals last week. He won an iRacing Knoxville Nationals just on the weekend, so he knows how to go to victory lane here at the Knoxville Raceway. 13 laps to go. Can he come from the 5th restarting position? Can he get inside the podium? Can he get on the top step? We'll find out. 13 to go. Vinny Sansone back to the green flag.
Green flag is back out. Bergeron, Beerline down on the bottom. Cox makes a move for second place. Can he seal the deal and gets it done? Has to shut the door on Grimm. Now Grimm under pressure and yellow flag comes out once again. Not sure what brought out the yellow flag this time. I do think, though, the 31 of Andrew May was involved. And we'll take a look here. 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. And so, yeah, as calm and collected as the first 25 laps were, been a rough one since then.
Boy, I tell you what, Jack Young was very lucky to miss Andrew May and Chad Griggs, who both got caught up there. And Kenny Hoffman actually smacked the wall there. Kenny Hoffman actually wanted to go down to the pits, so he actually reversed back into the pits from the front straightaway. Interesting move by KH.
Go on board with Jack Young here, and man, did he really yank that wheel to the left and trying not make contact.
Again, this is why this just, again, the intensity builds, the frustration I'm sure is starting to build. But again, what we've spoken about it time and time again, tire wear, fuel, it is all playing a huge factor. And we've seen it over the last couple of restarts as well with the likes of Beerline, Bergeron. I mean, even Bradley Cox. I mean, Bradley Cox went hard probably the first 20 laps or so. And just tell you what, as an underdog, I reckon, if Bradley Cox can get the win, it would certainly be one of the biggest wins of his iRacing career. Back to green, 12 laps left to run. That is all that separates one of these drivers from the top step of the podium.
Vinny in the 80 gets another great start. Bergeron is under pressure from Shell. Beerline and Shell now battling it out as Vinny Sansone sees a slider from Matt Grimm. Grimm going to hold on to it. Bergeron going to pass them both on the outside.
Bergeron goes from the third or fourth spot into the race lead through 3 and 4. We'll come back to 3 and 4 right now. Cox with a move there on Grimm down into 3 off turn 4. Here comes Beerline. Here comes Shell. Sansone now starting to fall back. 3 wide down into turn number 1. Shell to the inside of Grimm. Grimm slides up in front of Beerline. Beerline turns it back underneath him. Bradley Cox goes around to the 45. We'll go yellow.
Yellow flag coming out for the 45 of Bradley Cox. And let's take a look and see what happened to him to bring this yellow out. Tags the wall down the front stretch, loses all that speed, all that momentum. And then it just starts bouncing through the corner and he can't hold on to it.
Wow, again, it's just starting to... It just gets good, KR. It just gets good, and then it doesn't. Again, with the lighter fuel loads, the looser race cars, we see the wings start to go back just a little bit, and to see some of these drivers with how far their wings are still forward. I mean, it's amazing at how much control they've got over their race cars, considering that when you factor in the tyre wear, the lighter fuel loads, the looser the car should be, you would think that they would try to get the downforce over the rear wheels to tighten them up a bit.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to change the handling on these race cars. And, you know, each time we're doing a yellow lap, there's a little bit more fuel being burned too.
That it is. Waiting for the lights to go out. Hopefully this time by on the safety car. Spoke about Beerline, spoke about Bergeron, spoke about Shell. Matt Grimm has been consistently up the front. It didn't take him too long to get up there, but can he hold it up there? Because that is going to be the big thing for that number 91 machine, the YB Racing Speed Factory. If he can stay up the front, and I'm sure he would love to podium here at the Knoxville Raceway.
All right, we're going to get the green flag with 9 laps to go. Oh, Brett, I still don't know who's going to win this one, but here we go.
Time will tell. Back to green off turn number 4. Alex Bergeron to lead us back to the jump of the green flag. And we're back underway here in the main event. And right now we see Beeline go to the inside. Look at our boy English with a huge right rear there to Tyler Shell. He stuffed it into the fence. So far we stay green with just 8 laps left to run here at Knoxville.
Green flag staying out. Bergeron, Beerline, English, Grimm. Right now running 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Bergeron going to watch his 1 second lead disappear as the yellow flag comes out once again. Tyler Shell in the 1 in trouble. Let's see what happened to Tyler Shell. And that car was broken and he was trying to get onto pit road. Oh my goodness. That was not what he wanted to see happen at all. That was definitely an iRacing dynamite keg.
No, that's intentional from Tyler Shell. And a world champion, if he's caliber, he slows down and then drives it hard into the opening. To me, that is just stupid and silly. Like his car, so we go back a lap, his car was actually already bent from the contact that he had when Sean English just came up and, again, right rear to left front contact, stuffed him into the fence, so he knew his car was broken, but to do what he did, that's just silly in my eyes.
All right, taking a look at the slider that English threw. And yeah, you can see Shell get bent. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I still blame iRacing for shooting the car out onto the track like that, though.
Yeah, but
if someone smacks the wall like that, I think you go through the wall. You don't bounce out like that.
Yeah, but these drivers,
I'm with you, though.
These drivers know. And especially an iRacing world champion. Like, come on. Pull your head out of your backside. That's silly. It's just, anyhow, let's move on from it. It's starting to happen. We'll continue on with the main event. It's going to be interesting now. Beerline's up on the tail tank of Alex Bergeron.
Several drivers still working on their race cars. One of those being the 17 of Bruce Jones. And that race car finally has all the wings on it. He has been working his way on and off of pit road nonstop. Good to see somebody not try and quit as the green flag comes back out.
See, I was talking about the top wing starting to move back over the rear wheels just to keep the downforce. That's what Aiden Beerline has done. Bergeron still got his pushed quite some ways forward. So that's only going to be a matter of time. And, well, we've got 6 laps left to run here in the main event Bergeron still leads by 4, make it 3/4 of a second over Aiden Beerline. English in third. Spencer Putney, we haven't really spoke about him all night long in that 17 car, and he finds himself inside the top 5. He finds himself either the 4th or 5th position. It's going to be 4th at the line, but again, we're going to go yellow one more time.
Yeah, it looks like Wilson going to end up on his lid going up and over after contact down the front straightaway. Getting into it with the 72. Just a big argument over who wants that inside line the most.
Unfortunately, those sorts of racing incidents are going to happen, especially with how slick the track is. I mean, you can still look at it. Looks like there's still a fair bit of, like, there's some moisture right above the black lines, black slick parts through 1 and 2, which they're rolling through now. And we've seen previously on previous builds over the past couple of seasons how big the cushion can get in 1 and 2, especially here at the Knoxville Raceway. It used to climb up several feet up on top of the guardrail. That doesn't build up as big, but boy, I tell you what, there's still a cushion there to lean on, and it's still just as nasty and ever. And if you look through 3 and 4, it's almost like a whoopsie on a motocross track. It's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah, the rhythm section that is the high side of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, better be ready for it, because if not, well, it will pull you into the wall. Interesting thing here, a lot of drivers trying to shorten this track up as much as they can to save all that fuel. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty of this race, and those fuel loads are getting very light.
They are getting very light. The tyre wear situation, I just love to talk to these drivers at the end of this one just to see what kind of tyre wear they do have. But anyhow, lights are out, safety car is in. We are back to green off turn number 4. Our final 5 laps is upon us here at the Knoxville Raceway.
3-car breakaway, and that is Bergeron, Beerline, and English. John English into the wall, but pulls it down and tries to get it going and stays on top of that track.
Spencer Putney still working in position number 4. Matt Grimm still holding on to a top 5 as Kenny Hoffman now trying to come to the outside of Zach Hoddle down the back straightaway. Coming to 3 to go off turn number 4. It's 3/10 of a second lead right now for your race leader of Alex Bergeron.
Bergeron with the race lead, but here comes Spangler in the 39. He's trying to work his way into a top 5. Hoffman, who was involved in a bit of a scuffle earlier, looks like he bounces off the wall, but keeps going. 2 more times around for Alex Bergeron.
Bergeron has only got what is now a mile and a half to go, or a mile to go, as he makes his way into turn number 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. White flag is out, 1 lap left to run.
Final time around here in the 410 Nationals, and the 12 and the 13 running a 1 and 2. At the yellow flag, they were at the tail end of the field. At the checkered, they are going to come away with the race win. 2nd place and 3rd place goes to Sean English.
Well, our 50-lap main event is complete, and Alex Bergeron comes away victorious here tonight. And he will be now crowned your 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company Knoxville Nationals winner here from the Knoxville Raceway. Congratulations to him. We'll take a look at the rundown order. Alex Bergeron gets the win. Aiden Beerline home in 2nd. Sean English in 3rd. 4th is Spencer Putney. Rounding up the top 5 is the 18 of Zach Hoddle. Matt Grimm home in 6th. Patrick Spangler in 7th. Chad Griggs home in 8th. Kenny Hoffman 9th. Rounding out your top 10 will go to Gregory LeMay. 11th is Bradley Cox. Vinny Sansone, who led for the first half of the race, will come home in 12th position. 13th is Bruce Jones. Andrew May 14th. 15th is Jack Young. Then you look at the back half of the field again. Josh Whiteman in 16th. 17th was David Smeal Jr. and the last car on the lead lap. Chen Siskowski in 18th, 1 lap down. Tyler Shell 19th. Cameron Pritchard in 20th. 21st is Darren Detweiler. 22nd was Bradley Wilson. 23rd, Brett Strickler. And 24th was Alec Szynski for your field here at the Knoxville Raceway.
Oh, all right, Brett. We got Chris Roberts in here. Chris, we got 3 drivers to talk to, but before we get that all said and done, man, another successful Knoxville Nationals night.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a long 10 days, and that 50 lapper was definitely interesting to see the different strategies. Alex wins, but he was about 2 laps away from going a lap down before that halfway yellow come out. So interesting.
All right, Brett, what do you say we talk to Alex and see how he did it?
All right, well, let's chat to your winner here tonight and being crowned as the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company 410 Knoxville Nationals main event winner is Alex Bergeron. Alex, congratulations on the win. And I guess the game plan from the start of that race was just to let everybody by, save your tyres, and make it for the back half of that the back half of that main event. And well, you come away with a victory. You must be happy with this result.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. You know, we worked hard for this race, and you know, we being patient in the feature was really important. You know, definitely, like you said, a bit of tire saving, a bit of fuel saving there, and you know, just keep our equipment safe and you know, almost new for the rest of the race, so we have a chance. But you know, just play in our favor.
But those last 5 laps before we threw the yellow at the halfway point of the race, yourself, Aiden Beerline, Sean English, you know, you guys were all at the back, and after you guys started in the first 2 rows, you guys almost went a lap down. How important was it for you, and how much were you paying attention as to how close the leader was getting to you guys?
Yeah, it was really important. I kind of got scared a little bit there with Vinny coming behind us. Kind of moved to the middle there and kind of ran away a little bit more. So that way, make sure not to be a lap down, because that would have been, you know, the end of the race for me. So, you know, definitely, I think we did the right calls. You know, in the last couple laps there was just a great battle with Aiden. I hit my marks as much as I could, and was able to hold on to it. So, me and Aiden ran a pretty good race, and got to thank him for everything he done for this car and getting me ready for this race, and all the work he's done for this race. So, wouldn't have been possible without him.
Alec, what does it mean to you to be crowned now the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company 410 Knoxville Nationals winner?
Oh, it feels amazing. You know, I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Maybe last year I done it. I don't know exactly the stats on that, but just another thing to add to my list, and you know, it just feels great to win here again and be in sprint cars. It just feels good to be here in sprint cars.
A long list of accomplishments for yourself, Alex. Congratulations on putting another one onto that list. Alex, before we let you go, of course, a lot of sponsors, a lot of people involved in this one. An opportunity to thank everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely, Brett. You know, first definitely our team ABR Esports, everyone in the team, of our partners that helps us out and supports us. You know, like I mentioned, Aiden Beerline for all the help he's done and getting us ready. Jason Nygaard also ran this race. He finished in the B main. You know, a couple of positions back, but he got in the wall, I think. So just bad luck there. But we all ran the race, and you know, just glad to be able to run again all together. So, but everybody that helps us out, and you guys for broadcasting, doing an amazing job, and DOB for putting this up for us to race and for this amazing event.
Alex, well done on the win, and I'm sure we'll see you out throughout the course of the racing series coming up over the next couple of months. Well done on the win.
Thank you, Brett.
Alex Bergeron, your winner here tonight from the Knoxville Raceway. Chaos Stonefish caught up with the man that comes home second spot tonight of Aiden Beerline.
I have caught up with Aiden, and Aiden, that 13 at lap 25 was about to go a lap down, but somehow you guys pulled off an excellent strategy. Tell us how you did it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we knew what we were going to do from the start. I knew what I was going to do back in 360s once I realized what it was and the game plan. And yeah, I mean, we weren't aggressive enough. Alex was slightly more aggressive, and I got to get used to having this better tire model, like better tires over everyone else. Certain people were more aggressive, and it allowed them to get up more spots quicker, and he was. And I mean, the only thing, in order for me to win that race, I would need to invert the top two, because I mean, we were both just so equal at the end. He drove a phenomenal race.
Well, the first 25 laps really did kind of set an uneasy tone at the back of the field because everyone was trying to run about the same lap speed, but it seemed like last 15 spots were all in one little location in the corner.
Yeah, I think there's like 4 guys that were meant to be on my strat, me and Alex's strat, and I think certain people saw us doing it and they tried to follow us, which I don't blame them. I do the same thing, and I think they all ran up well too. Everyone that tried to copy us, and yeah, I mean the strat worked. And at one point I was like, "Where's the leader at?" And then I saw the leader catch, and I'm like, "Okay, gotta go." I wanted to not start going until like lap 20, lap 30-ish, but we had to go a little sooner, unfortunately.
Well, man, an outstanding job bringing it home in second place here tonight. Any shout outs, thank yous that you'd like to give?
Yeah, first off, I gotta thank Jesus Christ, my mom, for always watching. Team ABR Setup Shop, Chris for doing this. I'm sure a lot of people aren't gonna be happy about it being straight 50 laps, but it was a blast. I mean, no matter what it is, it's always fun to run here, and haters gonna hate, but it's fun to run this league every once in a while. And you all for putting an amazing broadcast. And also, I got offered a real life ride a couple days ago, and I just got to thank Gibson Barker Motorsports for giving me the opportunity here at the end of September to drive their legend car.
All right, man. Well, nice job, and we'll be looking forward to seeing that whenever we get the chance.
Yep, thank you.
All right, there you have it. Aiden Beerline, the driver of the 13, who brings it home in second place. Brett, one more driver on the podium. That's Sean English.
It is. We'll chat to them. Comes home third place tonight is the 960 car of Sean English. Sean, congratulations on a third place run here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. Well, you started up front, you fell to the back, you nearly got past, and you nearly got put a lap down towards the midway point of the race. But late in that race, I guess the tyre strategy was the big game plan, and you come home third in the Knoxville Nationals. You got to be happy about this result.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm not a big fan of the halfway caution because I'm sure, like you saw, me, Alex, and Aiden, we were sitting there a second off the leader every single lap, just trying to save tires the best we could. Unfortunately, they saved a little bit better than mine. Plus, I'll keep it a $150 with you, Brett. I am not a good race car driver. I was messing up so much, smacking the wall down, not clearing sliders. It was a mess for me. I don't know how we brought it home with a P3.
What was it like towards the back end of that race course? It was stop-starter inside those last 10 laps, but those last, I think, 4, 5, or 6 laps. I mean, we know with sprint cars you can only move your wing forward or backwards at the top wing, that is. How much were you trying to try and tighten this car up towards the back end of that race?
Honestly, I felt I was just too tight. Like, I was hoping that maybe with burning tires up, I'd start getting looser. But because of how hard we were saving and how hard I was saving, I burnt the right front up at the beginning of the race. So the whole time I was struggling with a bad push, and I couldn't find anything that was really comfortable for me, moving the wing frontwards, backwards. No matter what I did, it just felt like it kept getting worse.
Hey, other than sort of saving the tyres, have you had a look at what your tyre percentage is at after a 50-lap main event?
I mean, I'm surprised. Like, usually around an official race, like one of the weekly races, come off around 60%, and those usually average to be around 30 laps. After a 50-lap race, we were only at 51%. So I feel like we had the car to do it. I just didn't exactly do the best job that I could have.
Little bit of a execution, but hey, he still executed a third place finish here tonight in the 6th annual Dirty Old Bastards Natural Carbon Company 410 Knoxville National. Sean, congratulations on this podium finish here tonight. Before we let you go, we'll let you thank everybody involved on this 960 machine.
Gotta thank racecpi.com. Best place to get dirt, asphalt, road course, whatever setup help you need or coaching, that is the place to go. Gotta thank everybody at Florida Shocks for putting in the work day after day, making sure that we are able to stay up front. Everybody at Sean English Racing, gotta give a huge shout out to James Seawright and Chase Stewart. They were up there in the spotter stand telling me how bad of a job I was doing, and they were kind of just helping me out. So big thanks to them.
Sean, well done on the third place, and hopefully we'll see you back sooner rather than later.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
There we go, Sean English in position number 3. And KR, well, that wraps up championship night. We have our winner. It is Alex Bergeron.
Yeah, he has pulled out the win. And, man, when they took that first caution, you know they had a plan, but they were almost in danger of going a lap down. And, wow, to pull out that restart that they had and almost into the top 10 within 3 or 4 laps. So, what a great execution of their plan.
Perfectly worked out. They've certainly played chess over the past couple of weeks to figure out how and what they need to do. And, of course, you go back to that practice race a couple of weeks ago where Aiden Beeline was able to do that one. And I'm pretty sure he actually won that race, if I'm not mistaken. Chris, you could probably correct me on that if I am wrong. But, again, that 50
You're
lap...
correct.
Yeah, KR, that's 4. That's 4 times tonight. I'm just putting that one. Putting that one out there on record. 4 times I've been correct here tonight.
KR's been correct, what, 6?
Yeah.
No.
He might
Not
be,
at all.
He might be 6 beers deep. He's still correct.
Yeah,
All right.
I can't even count to 6.
Yeah, I've had to step it up for him. But it just goes to show that the homework that Beeline and his team has done over the past couple of weeks to get sort of prepared for this one. But again, we'll just sort of throw it back to Chris. Chris, I'll ask you now where we started off a little over about a week and a half ago. Tuesday night for the 360 Knoxville Nationals, night number 1. And now we end it with championship night of the 410 Knoxville Nationals. 10 straight nights of racing. We know what it takes as a toll on a driver, everybody involved, but I don't think anyone has turned or done more time over the last 10 days than what you have put in.
Nah, that's I can definitely say I'm tired. I know Darren's been here every night of the week with me. But, once we get done, he either goes test or just gets off when I still got a bunch of work to do. We'd finish up, and I'd be on here for about another hour and a half, 2 hours. Tonight, I'm making a short post, and I'll do the full race rundown either tomorrow night or Saturday morning. But, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And I can say, we really didn't have no tempers flaring until Hard Knocks night. And, well, everyone knows it's the end of the specials, and everything matters now. It's time to go. So tempers were warming up yesterday, and there was some that got pretty hot tonight. But that race was interesting. I really did not see Alex and Aiden dropping that far back. Like I said earlier, they both almost got lapped, and then I did not see them coming back up through the field. But with all the yellows there the second half, that definitely helped them out. They were able to keep their nose clean, come back up through the field, and it was 2 different strategies. The guys that wanted to go up front and kind of set their own pace, and the guys that wanted to go to the back. Was 50 the right call? They all made it on fuel, so that worked out. Could it have been better? I'm sure. If we would have maybe lowered it, like the 40 that we were thinking about going back and forth with. But when it comes around next year, we'll just see what iRacing's got with track states and all that, because that was the biggest thing. I do prefer what I did the past 5-6 years of having each main event in their own server, so the field's gridded up the way it needs to be. But the track just wears out too slow for that right now. So we got an update, I think, a week and a half, 2 weeks away. We'll see what they do to the track, and still got another year before this one. So we'll see how quick the tracks work, and see if it's sticking with straight 50 or back to twin 25s or 40 laps, something like that. But got a year to figure that out.
Yeah, so look forward to that coming in a year's time. But now that you wrap up 10 straight nights of racing, the special events are done. What's the plans for Dirty Old Bastards going forward for the rest of the year? Is there any plans in coming back to weekly competition, weekly racing, or I mean, what's your plans?
Yeah, I told all the A main guys when they were out there doing their 4 wide salute that we're taking next week off from the dirt stuff. I got our Hickory late model stock deal on Sunday, as we're in the playoffs with that. Got 3 weeks left of that. But then the first week of September, it's September 5th, we fire back up weekly. 360s on Tuesday night. And then on Wednesdays, the wingless 410s and big blocks will alternate back and forth weeks. And then Thursday will be our normal 410 show on Thursday. So 3 nights of dirt racing action. Just one race a night. I'm not doing the double shows no more. I kind of spoiled myself with this taking the 6 months off and going to bed early. So we'll race one race a night and call it a night. But that's the plan. Run that through I think the end of December, and then I got something big in store for 2024 with the 410s. So looking forward to next year with the 410s.
Well, it's certainly been a fun 10 nights of racing, that's for sure. And I'm sure that you've got a lot of people, a lot of sponsors to thank before we let you sort of get out of here. And I guess after that, I guess KR can wrap us up.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who showed up for over the 10 days. Had I don't know how many, a lot of people showing up over the 10 days. Had 78 for the Nationals, for both Nationals, actually. Let's see, had 118 drivers show up over the 10-day event, with 360s, the Ironman, the Classic, and the 410 Nationals. So thanks to all those for showing up, putting on some good racing all week long. I got to thank Natural Carbon Company, as they were the main sponsor for this to get everything broadcasted. Tim Sims Dirt Track Simulators came on board, help out with the trophies. Was sponsor for the 360s. Got the Weggie Law Firm, or Weggie Law Firm. Yeah, Weggie Law Firm. With they come on for the Ironman, so I appreciate them. Design with the Classic, and then the Mr. Knoxville Award, which that does go to Aiden. He had that. All he had to do was start the A-Main tonight, and he had that locked up. So congrats to him on that. And then you, Brett, being here, I think 8 of the 10 days. So you've been just as busy for the most part. KR, thanks for coming out, helping us out, get it all covered up. I know last week you had to miss 360s because you killed your motor in your real car, but that's fine. We were able to make it happen. And then gotta thank Ryan with Talking Dirt TV, for stepping up to the plate Tuesday night when you had your thing come up there, Brett. So appreciate Talking Dirt TV coming up. We've worked with them in the past, and they're pretty good. So and just thanks to my guys that kind of helped me out and bounced ideas around and all that before we started all this, because I've always wanted to do 50 straight, and we did that test race. I announced it, and then I had too many days to think about it, and I backed it back down. And then when we all met up at Knoxville again, we said, screw it, we're going to do 50, and we did 50, and nobody ran out of fuel.
All right, Chris. Well, man, that about sums it up. Thank you very much for letting me be here, Brett. I know he's happy to be here as well. So, until next year, I guess. So, man, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you all next time. And so until then, y'all stay safe and have a good night.